All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Gridiron the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Good morning. Welcome to the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz. I am your host. Hopefully, Dre will get here momentarily. But we got a great show for you today. We got a couple hours here, probably about 2 to 3, maybe 2.5 hours of college football here. We only have one game that we need to break down. That will be the Army versus Navy game. We'll break that down here later on. We'll be talking about the college playoffs committee's decision to snub Florida State out of the college playoff due to one player that was injured, and there's the starting quarterback. So I guess one player makes a football team, according to the committee. So we have 11 players on the team on defense, 11 players on the offense. We have over 900, almost 100 people on the team, but one person makes a team for Florida State for the playoff committee. We will break that down here later on, and we will talk about what a legendary college basketball coach said about the committee and what his thought about it and why they let it happen. So we're going to break all that down. And this college legend, sometimes I don't agree with, but you got to respect his opinion because his opinion is a very right on to the spot here for the moment. So we'll get into all of that here with us. So stay with us here on the All Sports, All Plays Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz here. And Billy Buzz Smell, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody on this planet here. This is going to be a great day to talk about. We're going to break down. We're going to talk about the ESPN involvement into the college playoff committee that has been popped up around the thing, the way that ESPN has influenced the college playoff committees too. So that's going to be a lot of stories about this committee. This is going to be a breakdown of trashing, not really trashing, but disrespecting their decision because you cannot tell me that Florida State did not deserve to be in the playoffs. You cannot tell me that Florida State's undefeated Power 5 conference be left out for a one-loss Alabama team that's in the SEC. Only reason why Alabama got in it because of the SEC. This is now what I have named the college playoffs. This is the SEC against everybody. That's all it is. That's opinion. That's a fact. You cannot tell me an undefeated team. I have played sports all my life. You cannot tell me an undefeated team should be left out of a college playoff, even though they are a Power 5 conference. You cannot. A one-loss Alabama team should not be that factor. So let's get my boy in here, Dre. Let's get Dre in here and get his thoughts on this thing. What's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on, boss?
Not much. We're talking about the college playoff committee and how they got influence.
We all know how they got influenced. It wasn't right, but we knew that that's part of the game when the whole format shifted even before the BCS. We knew college football, figuring out the national champion, was going to become a mess one day eventually. And finally, lo and behold, it happened. Well, I said last week, I want an argument to happen. I want some furniture moving. I wanted a live stream. I wanted to get down to the nitty gritty of what happened. They dodged all around the bullet, but I think more and more of the story is going to come out. I don't know if it's really true that DeSantis is trying to raise $1 million for Florida State to sue the college committee. But they're thinking that they're trying to see into the future, which is wrong due to the injury of the quarterback in Florida State. I get what they're trying to say. They don't want another debacle from Georgia, Hawaii. They don't want another TCU incident from last year. They're afraid of that. They want guaranteed money. They want to look good in front of everybody. They want the thing to be done right, but it did not get done right, according to football fans. But for boosters and special committees out there, they're fine with it.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I have a statement here that I sometimes don't agree with because this coach the legendary coach I'm talking about, he's like he coached a team that is a rivalry in my team. But I have to tell you, I agree with his opinion on this matter.
Okay.
He said that the committee got it wrong because they based it off one player. They based it off the injury of a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He said it right. He said does the quarterback play all 11 positions on offense, all 11 positions on defense? When a star player gets taken down, a team rallies past the star player.
Uh-huh.
The defense has got much better. And I'm going to tell you why. Does Alabama deserve to be in there? Playing 3 teams that are not even Power 5 conference. They have 3 teams on their schedule that they played that was not in there. Florida State only had 2, but they trashed them. Auburn game. Alabama played a 3-5 Auburn team all the way to the last play of the game in overtime. Almost going, and then the play that got them in there to win on the one play. Florida State had not lost to no team. Even though they played a good game all the way up against Louisville, that defense took Louisville out of their game plan, took Louisville down. FSU should be in this thing. Only reason why this question has come up is because I have renamed this playoff committee. It's the SEC Invitational, SEC against everybody else. That's point blank, point period. Nick Saban was involved. SEC was involved. If these 2 teams were not involved, this would not be the same thing. This is what we're talking about. SEC gets special privileges by everybody else because a one-loss team should not be unseeded or undefeated team, regardless. Texas beat Alabama fair and square on the field. These games has been played on the field. We let the committee be off the field. 2 things that came up that was not in criteria in last year. It came up and they changed the criteria between Saturday and Sunday morning when the vote came out. The problem is this committee should not be opinionated, should not be predicting. These have found out that 3 committee members had a simulator of the games that was played on a simulator that showed that Florida State was that. But when the game is played on the field, not through simulations, this game should not be right. The defense is strong enough for Florida State. Riley, the second string quarterback, will be back for this game. It's not because they say, oh, you're playing a third string quarterback. They're playing all this. That defense is so good. They scared that ACC would have came in there and destroyed his teams that base. But Florida, Alabama is a draw because SEC is a draw. This is the SEC tournament, not an NCAA tournament. And I'm going to tell you what, the Bowl Championship Series has got it right. They play their top 25. The lower tier bowls has a true champion of college football, not this. This is a opinionated predicament, and this is not the correct way. You cannot go against an undefeated team. I'm sorry. This is crap. This is bureaucrat. This has been stolen, and I'm not even an FSU fan. But I'm going to tell you what. This day is going to come when this thing backfire. I hope Alabama loses. I hope Alabama loses big, and I'm going to laugh at this committee and say, look at what you just did. And if Florida State beats Georgia, oh boy, Florida State will be true champion of college football because they based that Alabama victory off the Georgia game, period.
Great points, valid points. I mean, strong points there. I mean, there's a lot to look at here between the loss that Georgia sustained, going undefeated to the SEC championship. Florida State going undefeated, period, but losing a vocal point, key point of their offense. But I'm looking at it at another way. Other than the money, other than the names of the teams that are involved in this, what about behavior? What about sportsmanlike conduct? You think Florida State behaved the way to be even in consideration to get in that playoff committee? The way they behaved in that in-state game against Miami was pathetic. The way they performed in that game against Florida. Look at the attitude on the field. Florida State acting like that as an undefeated team, I bet that had a lot to do with it. And as well as the injury.
I'm going to tell you.
And as well as the traveling points, who's going to bring more bang to the buck?
It doesn't matter. That's what people
of Florida State.
I get what you're saying. You're saying the money aspects of blah, blah, blah. But it should not come down to money aspect. It should come down to on the player field. And you're talking about the Florida and Florida State game and the thing. How about How about that quarterback getting freaking hit when he was sliding, getting himself up, and no flag was come out?
It still does not negate the fact how Florida State this year behaved on the field.
Oh, Alabama don't do the same thing? Alabama does a lot of things like that,
get into not one skirmish the way Florida State did this year. I don't know how Willie Taggart doing it. I don't know what he's doing, what's going on in that locker room. Florida State fans have a valid point on being mad and no flag being called.
Well,
we're not making the playoff. What's that?
Hello.
But they're valid points on why both sides do. Florida State and Georgia both have valid points. Valid points. There's a big if, and there was a you shouldn't have lost. You should have taken that championship game a whole lot serious. But Georgia did not take the game serious. This is Georgia was figuring. No matter what we're getting in.
It doesn't matter.
For the pass, we're gonna be okay.
It's still not giving Alabama the free pass to get into the NCAA playoffs. I'm sorry.
Let's think back to Friday night. If Oregon would have taken care of business, if Oregon would have beat Washington, Florida State would have got in.
Why are we going that route? Why we got to worry about everybody else? Everybody this, everybody that.
That's how this works. But
Alabama should not be in there.
You have to worry about everybody else.
According to the record,
works in college football.
Oh, so you can tell me
you can worry about yourself.
Hold on, I'm about to tell you. So Alabama should get in there by playing a team called Middle Tennessee. They should get in there by playing Chattanooga. They should get in there playing South Florida.
They do it every year.
Yeah, but they play three teams like that.
3 or 4 teams every year. Everybody says, well, how does Bama do it? Look at the money that Bama's giving to those schools.
Hold up. Florida State only played Southern Miss. They only played North Alabama. 2 teams out of that. Alabama played 3.
Okay. Now, what conference is Florida State in?
Period.
What conference is Florida State in?
And no matter what conference it is, their team is undefeated.
You just said it's the SEC tournament.
Apparently
it does matter. It does matter. It matters what conference you're in. It matters your strength of schedule.
Hold up. ACC's been left out of the college playoffs. The Pac-12 has been laid out of the college playoffs. Big 12 has been laid out of the college playoffs. The Big 10 was out of the college playoffs. SEC is the only conference has not been out of the college playoffs. And this would have been the year they did it. They didn't want to do it, but that's why it's called the SEC Invitational. Period.
I'm not a Florida State fan at all, but I'm a football fan. I get why people are upset. They're boycotting games. Men are thinking about getting vasectomies on New Year's Day now. Stop that nonsense. Just look at the big picture.
Well,
when you first saw the Usual Suspects,
for Alabama to be in there.
When you first saw the movie The Usual Suspects, did you get it? First time you saw Friday the movie, did you know there was a man in a bed? No, you had to look at the big picture.
I looked at the big picture. There's no big picture for Alabama being here.
There is a big picture.
No, it's not.
If Oregon would have won,
all right,
we wouldn't even be in this position.
I got you on this one. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Florida State this year has played 2 SEC teams. 2 SEC teams. They're 2-0 against the SEC conference. ACC has a winning record against the SEC conference this year.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about a strength of schedule, the ACC dominated the SEC this year.
Okay.
In games on the field. Period.
I agree with you. But according to the committee, they don't want once in a lifetime. They want consistency. That's what the committee was formed for.
No. This committee has added criteria after criteria in this 2023 based off the 2022. They added criteria. They took one criteria they put in there has not been a factor was one player getting injured for Florida State. One player does not build a team. Florida State's defense is better than fucking Alabama's defense, period.
So you're trying to tell me that if Clemson was missing their quarterback, they would have won the national championship?
No. You don't know until they play the freaking game.
Ain't no way.
Cannot go into a computer.
Their team revolved around their quarterback.
Dude,
there was
I'm
no
gonna tell
way
you
it
what.
was winning without their backup. No way.
That's why I'm saying Florida would have won the national championship if Tebow would have got hurt. No. You put a committee together based on the criteria. They added criteria. Oh, now we're going to based on their opinion and predicts. That was not even in the criteria when they started this thing.
Okay. This is what I love to hear from people when I ask this question. I've been asking this question for a fucking week. What 4 teams did you want in? Go.
My 4 teams?
4 teams. I don't know why. Just give me your 4.
My 4 should be freaking Texas, Washington, Michigan, and FSU. Period. Period.
Texas, only reason Texas is getting hyped because of we know what's coming next year. That's the only way Texas in a discussion. Texas was not that dominant this year. They
beat Alabama. They beat Alabama and didn't in their home stadium, in Alabama's home stadium. They beat them.
You basing that on your whole admittance for getting in. We beat Bama. I need more. What else you bringing to the table, Texas? What else? What else have you done this year?
What did Alabama do? Did Alabama beat Texas?
They don't need to beat Texas to get in.
Yeah, Alabama barely beat Auburn. A 3-5 team.
You missing the whole point.
No, y'all missing the whole point.
This is that. You put your emotions in this. This is what everybody's trying to tell the committee.
Hey,
the committee trying to tell everybody else. Take your emotions out.
I'm going to take my emotions out. I'm going to tell you what.
Look what happened the last 2 weekends. Just pay attention to what happened the last 2 weekends.
Oh,
and you trying to tell me you wanted Texas?
Thank you for pointing at that point.
You would have put Utah in last year.
Hold on.
You would have put Utah in.
Hold on. You just answered your own question. You're basing your opinion off the last 2 games of the season.
Yes.
Bull crap, because you got to play the whole entire season.
You're bring September into the equation? September?
So
are you the same man you were in September? Are you the same man you were in September? Yes.
Hey, look. For your point,
the same man you were in September?
You ready for this? For your point, we should not play September, October. We should just play 2 games. 2 games. We should just play 2 games based on your point.
What did I say? Every college football season since we've been doing this at the beginning. It's not who you lose to, it's when you lose.
Florida State didn't lose. That's the point.
But Bama lost what month? Say it with me. Say it. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. When did they lose? What month was it? Come on.
When did Florida State lose?
September.
When did Florida State lose?
The day they played Florida.
Okay. They lost to Florida.
Well, we knocked the quarterback out. That was it. That was a wrap. That was it.
They didn't lose the quarterback. They didn't lose the quarterback until they lost the starting quarterback in the North Alabama game. Yeah. Travis went out in the North Alabama game.
He got the concussion in the Florida game.
No, Travis went out. The starting quarterback, based on their answer for the committee, they were basing off of Travis. Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis got hurt in the North Alabama game. That's what they said. They didn't say about the backup quarterback. They said Travis. So if you want to put that back, that was before the Florida game. He got hurt.
Georgia fans, Texas fans, and Florida State fans all win their bowl game. But we know what's going to happen. All those teams are going to find a way. Some players are not going to play. That's going to be excuse number 1. Well, our key players are sitting out due to
actually no.
With the next level. So we know that bullshit coming. So I'm ready for that argument.
No,
but if Florida State beats Georgia,
players are playing.
If Florida State wins their bowl game and Bama loses, and what if Michigan wins out? You're gonna leap Michigan?
According to the committee. Now,
you're gonna leap Michigan. You're gonna leap Michigan. If Michigan wins out, if Michigan wins out, you're gonna leap them with Florida State.
There'd be one team on their schedule, Georgia. That's why they got in. So if Florida State beat Georgia, then Florida State should win the national championship according to this committee. According to this committee, Alabama got in because they beat Georgia. Basically, that's what they said.
Oh my God. I can't stop laughing about this.
So I'm gonna tell you what, Florida State beats Georgia. Florida State's national championship, according to the committee, because they beat Georgia.
Regardless of what Michigan does.
Regardless of what Michigan does.
So Michigan beats Alabama. Michigan wins the national championship according to the playoff tree. They go undefeated.
Alabama should not be in it.
Hey, you remind me of Terrence Howard trying to explain 1 plus 1 is not 2.
I mean, you've been a sports fan for a while.
Since birth, sir. Since birth.
Okay.
You did.
So you go undefeated, and you don't play for a national championship. So what you done to this college what you have done to this university has now put the recruiting, say, hey, you can't go to Florida State to win the national championship. You can't go to this. You can't go out and recruit because you went undefeated and they can put you in the playoffs. You're going to just affect their freaking recruiting. You're going to affect the whole thing. And yes, Ron DeSantis has come to the state of Florida and has told the freaking financial committee to go ahead and put the $1 million towards this battle. And then that is true.
I will save my money, taxpayers, to any kid out there that is ever thinking of not going to a school because of that. You don't deserve to go to college. That's the dumbest shit ever.
Telling you, it's going to affect Florida State recruiting.
So I don't want to go to Florida because a lot of their players been arrested. Fuck that. They win. I'm going. Damn that. I'm going.
Yeah, but you can go, but they're gonna go. They're gonna have a.
I don't want to go to Michigan because the coach bought a kid a cheeseburger. I ain't going. I'm going.
You disrespected the whole thing because this has proved a point from the get go. It's the SEC Invitational Tournament.
Possibly a mistake was made along the way. The explanation, the breakdown, the rules.
So you're telling me a one-loss team is better than an undefeated team?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'll tell you that in a minute.
That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with
Bama would beat the living shit out of Florida State.
Right there. Right there. They lost a freaking game. They lost a game. They should be knocked out in the playoffs when the undefeated team is still undefeated.
A woman can be a whore the first year of the school year. By the time the school year ends, she's changed her whole sexual habits. A man can be an alcoholic his first week on campus.
The whole committee is an alcoholic.
He's clean and sober. People change. The committee screwed up. That's all I can say. Certain way they did. Did they get it 100% right? No.
No. I'm gonna tell you what.
I like the lineup. Yeah. Am I mad because Ugger's not in it? A little bit. Am I mad that Florida State is not in it? Not at all. Texas, not even in the conversation.
Now, see, because you know why? You're an SEC guy. That's why.
Thank you.
In there.
Finally, somebody's listening.
You're an SEC guy.
Thank you.
But I'm going to tell you what. You're wrong because your SEC blinders are on, and that's the thing. You got an SEC blinder. And the only reason Alabama's in there because of Nick Saban cried last year. Cried last year like a freaking baby because his team wasn't in there. He thinks Alabama should be in there every freaking year. Alabama shouldn't even been there this year. They lost a freaking game. You cannot tell me a one-loss team is better than an undefeated team, period. That is freaking period. That's asinine.
Well, we definitely going to find out.
And then Florida State beats Georgia. Then the committee's going to have a black eye on their freaking face. And Alabama lose their first game. They're going to have a definitely black eye. And then Nick Saban's going to be crying.
If Bama loses, the internet is going to explode when I told you so.
And I'm going to be right there. I'm going to go right to Alabama's freaking website, and I'm going to tell Nick Saban to go get his ass out of the freaking game. And do it a freaking asinine crybaby. If Alabama does not get in the championship game, he freaking cries. He thinks a 2-loss Alabama team last year should have been in the college playoffs. I bet you thought those too, didn't you? Because you got your SEC blinders on. That's the problem. All the SEC fans think they're all high and mighty, but they had a losing record against the ACC.
I tell you what, who's been quiet on this whole thing? Bama fans. They haven't said a word.
You know why? Because they're freaking
Bama fans haven't said a word.
They're freaking babies because they're freaking crybabies. If Alabama was not in the playoffs, they'd be all over the freaking thing crying.
Auburn had one fucking job to do, Ray. Auburn had one job to do. This man let the receiver get behind him in the end zone.
They took to the last play of the game to beat them. It took him to the last game to beat him. And you want to go to the last 2 games of the month?
How is that kid even allowed to come home for Christmas break? Whoever that defender is, keep your ass at school and work on your defense. You're not getting a Christmas gift.
But the problem
Christmas
is, they played a 3-5 Auburn team. They played a losing record team all the way down to the point.
That's a rival, dude. That game is crazy every year. You know that, and I know that. That's like Carolina and Duke in basketball. One can be undefeated, one can have no wins. But when they play each other, you act like it's 0-0.
I'm going to tell you what. Be all fair. College basketball has got it right. College basketball has got the championship, got the tournament, got the true champion. the subdivision, college football subdivision, has got a true champion. This championship is just tainted all up.
You like the format. You like the format, which to appease everybody.
It's a true format.
It's a 12-team format. So next year, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Do your job. Don't lose.
Florida State
in November. Don't lose in November.
Florida State they're undefeated. They're a Power 5 team, Power 5 championship, conference championship. They're not losing
quality win that's going to hurt the student body.
They're 2-0 against the SEC. Florida State is 2-0 against the SEC. Period.
Florida State fans.
If you look at the conference, ACC is better than the SEC this year. They had a winning record against the SEC teams this year. But you don't want to recognize that because
they got a bowl game
this year.
They're in a bowl game.
Then Florida State should be in the freaking championship game playoff. Period. When you go undefeated, you play your team. You get everything right with the committee. You should be on the team.
I'm gonna write it down like that. Ray said, period.
Period. When you're undefeated, you should be playing for a championship.
Period.
Not playing for a second place team. When you have a one-loss team, you can't get in there. Nick Saban goes and cries like a freaking whooping baby. Alabama ain't nothing but a bunch of cry-headed, bunch of incest piece of crap.
Oh my God.
I bet you Nick Saban married his first cousin too.
Oh my God. He's going viral, folks. He's going viral.
Poor. And if you want me to go down to Alabama and Tuscaloosa, I will walk right on the Alabama campus and tell them that.
Oh my God. I still say 3 things factored in.
No, it's one thing factored in.
When Texas beat Bama, okay? When Auburn defender let that ball get caught, and when Oregon lost. Those 3 things. And I'm gonna put a little star next to Florida State injury.
The committee came out and said this: Jordan Travis was the factor for Florida State. One freaking player on 11 on a 22-man roster. This one player plays defense. This one player plays offense. This one player plays all positions.
Mm-hmm.
So you just slapped the whole team. When the criteria came out, you win all your games. You win your conference championship. Florida State has done that. They went 2-0 against the SEC. This power mighty SEC, y'all say it's so powerful. Florida State 2-0 against the Mugs.
Act like you've been here before. Let's cut all that unsportsmanlike conduct up.
That unsportsmanlike conduct ain't got nothing to do with this crap. That's not even a criteria.
What?
You're just mad
because tell me if a team go out there and get to a fight every game throughout the season, the NCAA is not going to think about that?
Shit.
They're more buttoned up than the NFL. They ain't going to allow that shit.
I'm going to tell you,
act like you've been on TV.
Take your scenario. Let me take your scenario here. Let me take you this. If it's costing the quarterback for Florida State not getting in the championship game, I guess Jaguars not going to get in the playoffs because they lost Trevor Lawrence. I guess
if Trevor Lawrence would have got hurt at Clemson, you damn right they wouldn't have got in. You damn right. No.
So Alabama can get an injured player and still get in?
Hell yeah.
Because that's your SEC home there, man.
That defense
deserve to get in this.
If it's up to the defense, if it's up to the defense, and Nick Saban doesn't have the best quarterback option, watch what that defense can do.
So
they need you to.
Your whole scenario the SEC is better than the ACC.
You don't need to go for 300 yards every game to win it.
Hold up. Did you say that the SEC is better than the ACC, but when the SEC has a losing record against the ACC this year?
Hell yeah, I said that. I'm an SEC fan. Didn't you say that? I got my blockers on.
Yeah.
There's nothing ahead, boss, but SEC. That's all I see. That's me.
Hold up. Jay wants to come on. Let me get Jay on here real quick. Let's see if Jay wants to come on here. But I'm going to tell you what. You got your SEC blinders really good day, babe. I'm going to tell you.
Every day, every Saturday.
Because I'm going to tell you. You talking about the ACC and the SEC? ACC has to win a record against the SEC this year. And you saying the SEC is better than the ACC?
Yes.
If they're better, then they should have a winning record against the ACC this year, right? Correct?
Right.
Correct?
Right.
They didn't. ACC had a winning record against the SEC this year.
You're correct. You're right on all points, but I'm an SEC fan, so I think the SEC is the best conference in football, period. Without the SEC, there is no college football Saturday. There is none. That's why everybody's trying to come to us.
That is bullshit.
That's why everybody's trying to come to us.
Because Florida State's undefeated and SEC didn't have an undefeated team this year.
Hey, things happen.
But that goes, to let me jump in for a second. That goes to show you that how balanced the SEC is. I'm not an SEC fan, nor am I an ACC fan. So coming from an outside perspective, the SEC, if you look at them as a whole, man, you got Georgia, you got Florida, you got Alabama, you got LSU, you got Ole Miss, you got Auburn. These guys, those teams, they cannibalize themselves. You switch over to the SEC, you don't have that same issue there. I mean, to the ACC, you don't have that same issue there. Yeah, we got Clemson. Yeah, you got Florida State. But really, outside of them, those are the two most consistent teams in your conference. Miami's a fly on the wall every 4 years.
Well, you just put out your thing. You said LSU, you said Florida. Both teams that Florida State has beaten this year was LSU 45-24, ranked number 5 at the time. Then they came in and beat Florida 24-15.
So you just proved my point.
I just proved my point.
No. You regurgitated what I said, which was the SEC cannibalizes themselves because of how level of a playing field they have. When you look at it, bro, look at this. Let's check it like this. Look at the Pac-12. This year in the Pac-12, that was one of the most even playing fields that we've had in a while. You had USC, huh?
And it'd be the last.
Of course. I mean, they're about to disintegrate.
I know because they just made it. They keep their conference alive. They only got 2 teams in the Pac-12, so now they had to go to the Mountain West to make some of their conference games against the Mountain West teams.
Yeah. No worries. No, you're right about that. But what I'm getting at is the fact that you had Washington. Washington beat Oregon twice. Outside of Washington, I don't know if Oregon loses a game. I don't know. We could sub in two teams. You could pick them, and they don't lose those games. Washington is the only team that's going to beat them. Okay. Then you look at USC. USC came in ranked in the top 10. I think they were ranked 5th in towards the beginning of the season. They lost to Washington. I mean, no matter how you look at it, you give it to me. Who outside of Georgia and Florida are you scared of in the ACC? I mean, Georgia and Florida State. Outside of them, who are you scared of?
Oh, Florida ain't in the ACC. Florida's in the SEC.
Florida State.
Florida State's in the ACC. Dude.
Outside of Florida State and Georgia. No, hold on. Before you come with something else, before you go on a different path.
Oh, so now
who are you scared of?
I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of nobody in the SEC either. I'll play all the SEC teams. I ain't scared of nobody.
That's not the question right now. That's not the question. I'm not scared of anybody.
I'm not scared of anybody in any conference. Period.
No, then that's a problem.
No, it's not a problem.
You should be afraid of Alabama.
No, you shouldn't.
No matter what conference you're from.
You're a college team. Why you want to be afraid to go play these teams? Because they got Alabama, they got Nick Saban on the sideline, they got their incest.
Okay, so let me rephrase because you're taking that too literal. What I'm saying is you're packing your bags. You got 25, 30, 18, 19, 20-year-old players on your team. So that's why I said let me change the phrase, because fear is not what I meant, like fear of a man. What I'm saying is you're going to play a team on the other side of the country. Out of the SEC, there's 4 or 5 teams I don't want to play in the championship. I would rather play somebody else. I'd rather play Michigan than Alabama or Georgia. Just to be frank, I'd take Michigan 12 days a week rather than play Alabama or Georgia. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
That means you're scared. That means you.
No. It's not about being scared. It's called knowing your opponent. I'm not scared of anybody.
I'll take my team and go tell. I'll go to my team and play Alabama 7 out of 8 times.
Well, you're gonna lose 7 out of 8 times.
No, I won't. No, I won't.
You're gonna lose 6.
No, I think Carolina can beat Georgia 7 out of 8
I never
times.
said they did. I did not bring my team in. I said I'm not scared of anybody. If I'm a coach team, I'll bring my team right into Tuscaloosa,
what team?
Alabama. Any team.
What team?
Any team I coach.
What
I ain't scared of nobody.
No, but Ray, we're not talking about just being scared to show up. That's not what this thing is about. It's not about fear to show up. Please, Dre, because I need to know who you're talking to. Because North Carolina, you can take your Tar Heels. I'll take my Sun Devils. Take the Tar Heels. All right.
I ain't scared
take
to go.
the Tar Heels
right into Alabama and go right to them.
What team are you beating? What team are you beating in the SEC? What team are you beating? So now you said you guys don't have the fear. You're going to show up. But what team are you beating?
Any teams that we play. We got.
That's not true.
It's not true. We played LSU one year. They had to cheat to beat us.
Did they beat you?
They had to cheat to beat us.
So the question is, what team will you beat?
Hey, we played stiff competition against LSU. We played stiff competition against Florida. We played against.
Did you beat Southern Florida?
Huh?
Did you beat Southern Florida?
We didn't play Southern Florida.
Oh, what did you say? What was the second team you said?
We beat LSU. We would have beat LSU if we didn't get cheated out of that freaking football game.
Okay, but you lost. All right. What's the second one you were talking about?
We beat South Carolina always. You know,
South
we always
Carolina.
beat them.
Hey,
South Carolina's an SEC team.
I'm glad
I
you
give
have
you
one.
South Carolina.
team will be balanced.
I
I'll
think
give you
the
South
only
Carolina.
SEC team you could beat is
Exactly.
probably South Carolina. Maybe. Oh
We can beat your Gators.
no.
Yeah.
You ain't beating North Carolina. Ain't beating Florida.
Hell
Not
no.
from this season's Florida. Not this season's Florida.
Yeah, I think South Carolina is probably the only team y'all can beat in SEC on a consistent basis.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vandy and South Carolina. I give you that. Those are valid points.
Because you ain't going into Arkansas beating Arkansas.
So-
you ain't going into Auburn beating Auburn.
So you tell me that Alabama's all this. They play Middle Tennessee. Ooh. Then they play South Florida. Ooh, they play Chattanooga. And then you're gonna tell me that Florida State they played Southern Miss and they only played Northern Alabama. That's the only 2 non-conference teams that wasn't even Power 5.
But you understand why?
Well, tell me the in-conference competition. Please enlighten me. Go on.
And then you're gonna tell me, oh, so Chattanooga, they have to play Chattanooga on November 18th.
The question, Ray. The question wasn't about Chattanooga.
I mean, who did they play in the ACC though? Who? Miami had already fucked themselves with that 4th and 1 call, but who did Florida State play with some street credit in the ACC?
They played their teams. They played out. Everybody's got their freaking teams they got to play in the conference.
Oh, I'm just asking a question.
So I'm gonna tell you. I'm telling you straight up.
Why is my
They
witness
play their
yelling at
teams
me?
on the conference schedule.
We
and
all
they won.
did. Everybody does
They
that.
beat everybody
I'm
on their
just
freaking
asking
schedule.
one question.
Who did they
LSU.
play? Who was
They
the
beat LSU.
competition
They
in their
beat
conference?
your Florida Gator team. They beat your Florida Gators.
I know they beat my Gators.
They beat
Okay,
your
everybody
LSU.
has.
They beat LSU and SEC. They're 2-0 against SEC.
Who?
They're 2-0
The
against
only
SEC.
point you're bringing to
The
the table.
two teams
I
that
need more.
the two teams that Jay has announced on his little thing, like LSU, Florida, all that, they beat them this year.
But
Okay.
you only keep mentioning LSU and Florida, and then
That's
you say
it.
all that. That's your
What
same
else are you
repeated
bringing to
sentence.
the table? I
No,
need
they
more.
beat everybody on the freaking conference.
Whose
Who
conference?
was who
ACC.
other than Florida
Okay.
State?
Oh,
who
God.
did you
Oh, I
think
forgot.
this year the
I
ACC
forgot.
was strong?
We only play our conference teams. We can't play. No, we can't go
Everybody
over the
does
SEC
that.
and play all that conference teams.
Everybody
here's
does
the-
that.
so
but
here's
who
the-
else was good in the ACC this year?
All right,
that
let me see.
Florida
Let me
State
go
played.
take Alabama here. Alabama the last 3 weeks.
No.
Alabama played
Hold
good.
on.
Georgia that was
Ray,
good.
I'm gonna look it up
Ray,
myself. I'll look
Ray,
it up. I'll look it up.
Ray,
He's not
here's
getting
the
my
question,
point.
because you're going around the question, and the reason why you're going around the question is
No,
because
I'm
we
going-
already know the answer. There's no one else in the ACC that is a powerhouse.
Oh,
There's
so
no one
the
else.
They're all Power 5 conference teams. Every
No,
single
no,
one
no,
of
no,
them
no,
in
no,
the
no, no,
conference
no,
is
no,
a
no,
Power
no,
5
no, no, no.
conference team.
That is not what we said. I said powerhouse. A powerhouse and a Power 5. Look, you know who else is a Power 5? Or you want to? If we want to go to, if we're gonna break it down like that, man. If we go to the Pac-12, there's a whole slew of colleges that I'm not going to mention. There's a few of them. We can travel to every conference and say that. The point is, this is the point. I'm a Pac fan where we're moving to Big 12. Go ahead, Dre.
No, I got to take a break.
Okay, go ahead. So I'm a Pac guy. We're moving to Big 12. I know before we get there, bro, we ain't nowhere compared right now to what the SEC has. You got hold on. Let me finish
It
because
doesn't matter.
let me finish.
It doesn't matter.
It
Everybody got to believe the SEC is bullshit. This is bullshit. I
No.
don't believe in the SEC at all.
That's fine.
SEC,
You don't
only
have
why
to.
the SEC is so powerful because the media makes them powerful.
That's not true.
The media does make them powerful.
So let me ask you this:
ESPN influences college playoffs.
Does North Carolina go in and beat Clemson?
No, I'm going to tell you why. Carolina does not play good in freaking Clemson. Carolina never played
Does
good in
North
Clemson.
Carolina go in and beat Virginia?
No, because we gave up that stupid shit. Our defense, I'm going to tell you what.
Does North Carolina go in and beat
Why you
Miami?
bring my team in there? My team.
I'm just hold on. We'll
It's
go
not
to another
my
team.
team.
We'll go
You
to
wanna
another
bring my
team
team
here in a
into it?
second.
My
Hold on.
team don't have a defensive coordinator that's worth 2 cents.
Okay, well, hold on.
I can bring my team down. I can tell you what the problem my team is. We have a good
so then
offense, no good defense.
I'm gonna switch. So we can't use Clemson. We can't use Florida State. Who would you call your third best team in the ACC? Who would you call your third best team in the ACC?
Right now it's Louisville.
Does Louisville go in and beat any of number 5 through 10 in the SEC?
They could. They got a defense. They could.
I'm asking you. Be honest.
Do they go in and beat?
Do they go in and beat Auburn?
They could.
But do you think they will?
Oh, so now you're bringing Auburn in this. Let me go tell you something here. You want me to bring Auburn in this? We can bring Auburn into this. You want to bring Auburn in this?
You didn't answer the question, but that's fine.
Well, I'm telling you, I didn't answer the question. You asked me. I told you Louisville could go in there and beat anybody in the SEC. They could. I told you that.
You're not being realistic. You're not being realistic. You think that Louisville is coming in.
I'm always realistic. I think a team has an opportunity to go on the football field because all y'all doing is putting y'all paper on that thing because they're SEC. That's all y'all doing. I'm telling you for a fact that they have a chance to go in there and beat any SEC team.
Every team has a chance. We ain't talking about a shot.
Realistic? Yes, they have a realistic chance of going there and beating freaking Auburn.
Do they have enough? They have a powerful enough offense to keep up with Georgia. They have enough a powerful offense to keep up with Auburn. They have a powerful enough offense to keep up with Ole Miss. They have a powerful enough offense to keep up with LSU.
Okay,
you just talked about the defense.
You're bringing all this up. You're bringing all this up. Then Washington shouldn't deserve to be in there either.
Why does Washington? They beat Oregon twice. Oregon ranked in the top 10 twice.
Well, you know, Georgia
they beat USC. They beat USC when they're ranked 5th.
Hold on. I'm gonna turn it around on you now, Jay. You want to bring this into it? I'm gonna turn it around on you. Can Washington beat Georgia?
Can Washington beat Georgia?
Yep.
Yes. Washington has a high, powerful enough offense. They have a strong enough defense. They have a star at quarterback. They have a decent running back. They have a couple of wide receivers. There's players. There's coaching. There's reasons why I put Washington up against Georgia. Will I bet on them to beat Georgia? No.
They got all this high power, but did you?
Let me ask you this:
no.
Does Louisville travel to Michigan and beat Michigan?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe they can go in and beat Michigan.
This is unbelievable.
Why is it unbelievable, Jay? Why is it unbelievable? All you got to have is a good defense. A good defense can shut down a good offense. Period.
You're right. I'll give you that.
Period.
But what about the offensive side of the football?
Hey, as long as the defense gives Louisville the chance, Louisville will go in there and prove they can win.
So are we under the same impression that at the end of the day, right? no matter what goes on, if you have a good offense and you have a good quarterback, you're going to make plays, right?
Yeah, you're gonna make plays,
regardless of how good the defense is. Me and you both know that, right?
Yeah, but then again, a defense can dominate a game too.
100%. But a good quarterback is still going to make its plays. He's still going to make his plays. Caleb Williams gets shut down. He still has 4 or 5 highlights during that game, couple of touchdowns, right?
Maybe. You don't know. We can talk about all the scenarios you want to on there. We can't. We don't know until they actually get on the field.
I'm not talking about anything that's going to happen in the future. I'm talking about what's happened already. We know that, right?
Yeah, but still, you got.
I mean, just off the games we've seen.
Hold on. That you haven't seen on the field yet. You put all these scenarios out.
What scenario?
We can put all the scenarios you want to out here. We can say all you want to. But we won't know how a team plays against another team until they get on the field to play. Period.
You're 100% correct about that. However,
period.
Again, we know from past games
you can
that we've seen this season. Hold on. You over-talking me ain't changing the scenario. It ain't changing what's going on. So, what we've seen so far, we've seen Penix. We've seen Jaden Daniels. We've seen Caleb Williams. We've seen Drake May. We've seen these quarterbacks in positions where defenses has caught on to them during the game. And no matter how great those defenses played against them, those quarterbacks have been able to make plays when it's mattered. So back to my question was, even with a great defense, we know if you have a great or a high caliber quarterback, you're going to make some plays. So as good as Louisville's defense might be, at the end of the day, if they can't do anything on the offensive side of the ball, they're not going to win that game. Going to Michigan, they're going to get smashed.
That's paper, baby. It's paper, baby.
It's not just paper, bro. We've seen it all year. We've watched these teams.
You don't win games on paper.
Ohio State against Michigan. What happened?
Michigan won.
But why?
Because Michigan had better players.
No.
Michigan dominated freaking them because of the coaching staffs. Period. That was period.
And their offense was able to do more, right, than what Ohio State's offense was able to do because of the defense that Michigan was putting on their ass.
But all right, let me take this scenario then, Jay. Everybody thought freaking Appalachian State was going to go into Michigan and lose. What happened that year? That year, Michigan had a good defense, good offense. They played Appalachian State. What happened?
Are you talking about 4 years ago when Appalachian State put up like 43?
Like 25 years ago.
Okay. I mean, it happens. But we're talking about 20
now
plus
it happens.
years.
No.
No.
Now it happens. When I come up with a statement to try to prove your point, it happened a long time ago. But
because everything that we've talked about, everything that I presented is about this season. Everything you're presenting is about seasons before.
Then Alabama. Huh? So Alabama deserves to be in because they beat a 3-5 Auburn team. Beat a losing record Auburn team.
In because of that. That let the argument. That let people turn their head when game happened.
So Florida State should be in. So Florida State should be in because they went undefeated. They beat everybody on their team. On their schedule, they beat everybody. So they shouldn't deserve it. They did. According to y'all, they don't deserve to be in.
Nobody's saying they don't deserve it. I'm trying to
when they went 2-0 against the SEC.
Thinking. Not what you're thinking, not what I'm thinking, not what Jay's thinking. This is what the committee was looking at.
We know what the committee was looking at.
Ended the way it ended, and that Oregon lost. And then what happened?
And all that. That's not all what the committee was looking at. Wins. That's not all what the committee was doing.
But here's the thing: you're battling this conversation as if
they're
we're
watching
the
the Carolina football game and Florida lose. They're watching those games,
right?
Because they mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
you remember what year was it? Hold on, we talking about past.
Freaking time they changed the criteria.
Since we talking about past,
Alabama to get in.
Since we talking about past, how did the TCU thing fare?
See, that's everyone's point.
So now you can compare. Hold up, we talking about this year. Oh no, Jay, no, you going back next. You told me you can't go back next year. Last year, we're talking about this year. No, Jay, you contradicted yourself. You told me, you can't go back. I'm bringing facts this year. So I'm bringing the facts this year. I'm bringing
Okay,
you
so
the
take a
facts.
breath. Take a breath. I
Florida State's
premise.
defense is
I
better
led
than
in.
TCU's defense. Period.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. All right.
They're
You just
scared
put a
of
period. Hold
Florida
on.
State
God
winning
damn it. When are you
and
gonna
winning
take a break?
championship game with a backup
He's
quarterback. They're
All right.
scared. They're
All right.
scared because the Florida State defense is that good.
Is that a period?
Period.
All right.
That's a fact.
So I led into the TCU thing with Ray. Let me go and take a piece from you and give you something from past and ask
I'll
you
tell
how
you, from past,
TCU fared.
Florida
So,
State's defense is better than TCU's defense was. Period.
okay,
That's a fact.
that's
Florida
great.
State's defense is one of the top 5 defenses in the country.
That's great. What does that have
They
to
can go
do?
ahead and beat Alabama.
Okay, that's perfect, bro. But the whole point of this, Bray, is no matter how you put it, the at the end of the day, we can go through the SEC roster and go through every team.
All these SEC homers, man.
I'm not an SEC guy at all. I hate Alabama. I hate Alabama with a passion.
Dude,
LSU.
Alabama should not be
Hold on.
period.
Let me finish my
I'm
sentence.
telling you.
Let me finish my sentence. I hate Alabama. I'm an ASU guy to the T. You know that. You know that. You've been on this show with me before. This ain't the first rodeo. I don't like Alabama. I don't like LSU. I hate Ole Miss. I hate Mississippi State. Let's not pretend. So don't change the scenario up on this. Don't change what's going on here. Okay? Reality is, if we go down school for school in SEC and we match them alongside of the ACC and we go school for school, you cannot tell me if they played each other head to head, every team, that the ACC will come out on top. And that's what this is about. No matter how you spin it.
Hold up. You just said that any team in the SEC that it goes up against the ACC.
You've already started off wrong with what I said.
No.
I said, if we do head to head, conference for conference, and we go down to teams, the ACC will not come out on top. That is exactly what I said.
The teams that the SEC and ACC has played this year, ACC has won, has a winning record against the SEC this year.
What's the record?
I had to bring up all the teams and go through it, but ACC is
now, Dre, take your SEC hat off for a second.
Okay.
Is ACC the second best conference? Hands down?
Not in football, no.
Thank you. So, and that's my part about this too. Like, we're having a conversation. You're comparing the ACC, who I don't think is the second best conference,
Not at all.
to the
Oh, my
SEC, which
God.
I think is not only the best conference, but they have the most.
There's maybe
has the most
3
hardware.
teams in SEC that you can think of possibly winning a national championship. Take your fucking pick in SEC. Just
You mean
take your
you said the ACC?
pick. Take your pick.
You said the ACC has 3 teams that can maybe win it.
Possibly. But
Well,
the SEC, the only surprising team would
Well,
be
your
their
Gators?
partner in South Carolina.
Your chomp chomps.
But the rest, they all have potentially can win a national championship. The SEC is no joke.
Oh
No
man, that's a
No
true
joke.
SEC homer right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's your 3? Now, give me 4 teams that you believe that can win the national championship with the team that they put on the field this year in the ACC, Ray.
Only one team I can tell you. That's Florida State.
Okay,
Only one
so
team
then
right now.
so then give me 4 teams in the SEC.
Look, I do my shit totally different from all y'all little things y'all are saying right here. I know the ACC is weak right now. I know that.
So then what's the argument?
My argument is a team is undefeated, did what the criteria says.
So you're just worried about Florida State.
2 SEC teams win 2-0 against the SEC.
So this is all about Florida State.
Yeah.
That's all about Florida State. And 2
Okay.
losses and 2
That's
wins.
the whole
and
thing
1
was
win.
about Florida State. The whole thing. Y'all bringing up all these other teams. Man, I'm bringing up Florida State against the SEC this year. It went 2-0. Period.
And you feel that
That's the fact.
no. So let me ask you this question so I can make sure that I understand where you're coming from. So you feel that because of Florida State beating the SEC 2 times, they should be in the Natty conference.
No,
the Natty
telling you,
conversation.
I'm basing off what the criteria says. They beat everybody on their freaking schedule. They are a Power 5 team. They won the Power 5 conference. Undefeated. You cannot tell me. I'm a sports guy. You cannot tell me a team is undefeated, cannot win the national championship, and cannot play for a national championship. You cannot tell me that.
We didn't say they cannot win a national title. We didn't say Florida State cannot win a national title.
They should be playing for a national title. They went undefeated. They should be playing for it.
So who you taking out? Besides, because you're going to say Alabama.
We know he got Bama out there. He don't want Bama in a bowl game.
I don't understand it.
Easy, Jay. Texas beat Alabama, period. Alabama has 1 loss. A 1-loss team is not better than an undefeated team, period.
They had the most important victory to help them. They won
care.
the SEC championship.
Bullshit.
2 teams had 1 job.
They have over the schedule this year. They wouldn't even play Georgia. They didn't get to the championship game.
So let me ask you this. But they made it. They make it every year to the championship game.
Auburn. Thanks for that defensive call, by the way.
Let me ask you this. Who is this?
I was trying to tell you, they barely beat undefeated, a freaking non-winning team. Barely.
Ray.
I'm
Check
telling
this
you
out.
that for a fact. Florida State should be in the national championship play, not freaking Alabama, period. Alabama had a shot to change. They beat all some damn Texas. The only way they got in there because they beat Georgia and Nick Saban crying last year like a fucking baby. Period.
But you know what's crazy?
Alabama would have got in.
It's funny how you look at the damn shit.
If Auburn would have beat them, Georgia wouldn't have got in.
Bullshit.
Auburn wouldn't have got in. Georgia wouldn't. Bama would not have got in if Auburn would have beat them.
They shouldn't get in anyway. So you just tell me an undefeated team is no good when they go undefeated. They beat everybody. They won the Power 5 championship. They won the conference championship. They're a Power 5 team. They should be in the national title contention. Period.
Hey, all right. So look. So you gotta rein back a little bit.
I'm just telling you, period. Straight
up. No, you said Ray. Every time someone says something, you go to the same sentence, and you're saying "gnaw" to stuff that isn't even pertaining to the word to what you're gnawing. So look, I wasn't even talking about that. You just heard a word and just started going back off on it.
No,
so
I'm
look,
just telling you. I'm telling you.
Here it goes again. Hold on. I already heard your fact 7 times in a row. Hold on. So here's the point. ACC, the next team, is ranked 15th in Louisville. Yeah, because your whole point.
It's all about this. It's all about that. When I tell you the facts that the ACC,
when you tell me, hold on,
they have a winning record this year. Period.
Ray, you've repeated that like 13 times.
But you ain't getting it.
No, because I don't have to. I don't have to like agree.
SEC is better than this. SEC is better than that. But when the ACC
ain't nobody said that.
Have a winning record against the SEC this year, nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it.
We heard that. You ready? You paused?
Go ahead.
Right. I tried 3 times in a row. So the point about this is you're making this push for Florida State, and I totally get where you're coming from. They were undefeated. I watched the same schedule and the same games that you watched. I was sitting there Sunday waiting for the announcement, just like you were, and I honestly thought they weren't going to put Alabama in. Was it kind of fucked up that they made it? A little bit, but again, Louisville is the second best ACC team. They're ranked 15th. Above them are about 4 SEC teams. Alabama ran through that SEC conference. So if you got 4 SEC teams ranked higher than Louisville, who is the second best ACC team, that in itself is giving Alabama more ammunition. Same thing with the situation we were doing with Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan needed that win. Ohio State needed that win. Everything underneath them is boo-boo. There's no other power in that conference. To me, and people are probably going to, criticize me on this one, but I will put the Pac above the ACC this year. You got USC, you got Oregon, you got Washington, you got Oregon State, you got Washington State. I'd put them above the ACC this year. So to me, the ACC wasn't that strong this year. The SEC led from opening gate to the end. And that's what it's about. It's about the best competition in football. That's what the college football playoffs is supposed to provide. The best competition in college football. When it comes to a 12 or it comes to an 18 college playoffs, these little things will be solved.
Right. I think it's the only collegiate sport where if you lose 2 games, your season pretty much over with. They want perfection in college football. They want perfection. They want you to play every game, no matter when it is, like it's a championship, because everybody's watching.
You just said perfection. Perfection's undefeated. Perfection's undefeated. You just said perfection.
They're looking at everything, man. When you get out there on the field, they're looking at everything.
Yeah,
you're gonna rock yourself to sleep, man. Go ahead and get it off your chest. Go ahead, tell us again. They 2-0. They're undefeated. They beat Bama. Texas.
We heard
Bama.
all that.
It don't matter.
I love these homers, man.
We're gonna let Florida State in. To us, Florida State in. We're gonna do the commentating for that game. If Florida State beats Georgia and Bama loses, we're gonna do the national championship. In our mindset, that's Florida State playing. No matter fucking what. That's what we're gonna do.
Does Florida State have Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ray, you're gonna get your wish. All this yelling and screaming, and all this stuff you got your wish. They just ain't playing for a natty.
Hold on. And then the whole criteria that Dre said, if FSU beat Georgia, FSU should be national championship. That's how Alabama got in.
So Liberty should be as well.
Valid, strong fucking point right there, young man. Buy that man a beer, bartender. Valid point. On all counts.
If Florida State beats Georgia.
No, but I'm just saying Liberty should be as well.
Dude, they're undefeated. If teams are undefeated, should be playing for the national title.
Go.
Look, dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Let me tell you what.
Mary, he can read. Mary,
all right,
Mary.
Let me tell you what. Any undefeated team in any league can win a national championship, right?
No.
Oh, so
no.
You know that.
Undefeated doesn't mean shit. Undefeated doesn't mean shit.
Not in this context.
Saying. You know what we're saying. Don't be that guy.
Not in this context.
You know what we're saying.
Not in this context.
You're trying to say if Ithaca State goes undefeated, they win a national championship. Come on, man.
Do you know one of the criteria of this?
Harvard. We're gonna have Harvard versus Alabama.
Yeah. Why does Alabama get in then?
Harvard ain't got no chance, man.
Because Alabama beat Georgia? Only one team out of it, and they only had to play them in the conference championship?
Dude, you should be a stand-up comedian. That's what God. Oh, man.
Man, listen. You know what? I'm going to tell you this. Why don't we just do this? Why don't we just do Liberty versus Harvard versus Marshall versus
I'm going to tell you a fact.
What was that? Who won the the D2 thing last year? They was good though. They was actually good. Was it North Dakota State or something?
Yeah.
North Dakota State versus Marshall versus the UConn Huskies.
I can't wait to see this 12-team playoff format next year. Oh my God.
Oh man, it's gonna be a toss-up. They just gonna be out there.
Shit beat out of them.
And then here's the other thing. Wait till we get to this damn 12-man tournament.
That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait.
We ain't got a starting quarterback, and we ain't got a starting quarterback playing. We got 6 backups, 3 third stringers, and everybody else that already went to the draft.
Well, everybody is mad about what happened to UGA and what happened to Florida State this year to bring that same energy next year. Bring that same energy next year.
We will. When we slap the SEC up and down the fucking field, I don't want to hear you crying about it. I don't want to hear nobody crying about it. Because
Ray,
ain't garbage.
I'm gonna call you every week after the game.
Call me every week
because I be rooting.
Y'all can all call me right now.
Listen. I be rooting for the SEC to lose, bro. I'd be at the edge of my seat like Alabama's
you go.
going down, and it don't happen.
Right there. I'm giving my
It
phone
don't
number right
happen.
there.
Every time a team has Bama, they have
There
them.
you
They
go, right
have
there.
the game.
You can call me all you want to.
Auburn
That's my
had
phone
that
number right
game
there.
won, Jay. They had the game won. One fucking play at that spot of the end zone of all spots.
Ray,
of the end
chill.
zone. Not a
Come on, bro. You're acting like a
not
child.
a Hail Mary.
I ain't acting like a child. That's my phone number right there.
To the end zone.
I ain't scared of nobody.
That's not. Ain't nobody said you were scared of anybody.
Where's
What is
Apparently,
on
y'all
this
say
morning?
Florida State's scared to play anybody.
What the hell? You from Florida State?
Nope.
talking about Carolina?
What the hell did that have to do with you?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
You
for a
told
fact,
us like
Florida
12
State should be
times, but
national-
ain't nobody
should be
said
put in the
anything
national
back
not
about
Florida.
that.
Not Florida.
But nobody
Period.
said anything back about that. You stuck on that, and it should be.
Well, I'm just.
The point.
I'm telling you. The point is, everybody thinks SEC is all this high mighty fucking football team bullshit. They ain't shit. They just another fucking football team. You punch them right in the fucking nuts and go
Hey,
dancing like
get 'em.
everybody else.
Hey, why do you think everybody thinks that? Why
I
do you
don't
think
think
the
that. I never
masses
thought of
think?
that.
I didn't say you. I said everybody.
thought
Why
of
are you
that.
taking things so personal? I said
I'm
everybody.
just saying.
Okay.
Everybody-
So
everybody-
why
everybody
do
thinks
you
SEC is
think
all
that?
Why is
fucking
the
all
media so
bullshit.
heavy on the SEC? Why is
Thank
somebody
you.
so much on it? Why
Why?
do you think that is?
Oh, because referees help y'all ass wins, basically.
God damn it, Gump.
So you don't have a real answer?
I got a real answer. SEC ain't
So
shit.
what do you what is the reason in your eyes that everyone, including the media, is on the SEC's coattail? This is a serious question. I want a serious answer.
You want a serious answer?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
are they on the SEC? Because they take one conference and they blast it out there. They put it out there. They blast it
And
to
that's-
people home.
and that's
basically
your
what the
honest
media
opinion.
does. That's basically what media does. They take one conference and they export it all the way out to where now you got everybody thinking that SEC is all this high mighty bullshit. You take away the
Okay.
media, you take away that, SEC won't be shit.
All right. So then why do you
Period.
think the fans are so high on the SEC? So you gave us the media. Why do you think the fans are so high on the SEC?
What fans? You talk
Bro.
to SEC fans?
Yeah,
You
that's
talk-
my
you talk-
question. Listen to the question. Stop listening to fight. Why do you believe that the fans are so high on the SEC?
What fans are you talking to?
College
SEC
football
fans?
fans. College
Thank
football
you. Thank
fans.
you, Dre.
Well, my circle of college football fans, they don't believe in the SEC's high.
They
mighty.
must be ACC fans.
No, they're not ACC fans. See,
Okay,
that's
so
your-
the
that's your-
majority,
that is
the
your point.
majority-
That's your point. You think everything's about the ACC with me. You think about it, everything is the ACC. You don't read the lines. I have football
What
fans that are
line?
Big Ten fans. I have football fans that I literally know that went to Penn State. I have friends
Okay,
that went to freaking.
so you're talking about your
Illinois. I have
personal
friends that
circle.
went to freaking even to Arizona.
So you're talking about your
Arizona.
personal. You're talking about your personal circle.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about fans I knew a long time ago before I even joined. When
Okay.
I joined the Navy.
So
Don't
then
even
let
friends.
me.
We're not even friends when I talk to these guys.
Okay, so let me wipe the cobwebs away. Let me be very direct with my question, so that way we can't spin this off anymore. Why do you think that majority of college football fans are leaning towards the SEC? And if you spin this off, there is no other way that you could spin this off. So my question to you is very direct. Why do you think majority of college football fans ride with the SEC?
Because they live in the SEC country.
Whoa, hell no. So Alabama has more people than California?
No, I'm talking about a whole entire put a whole entire SEC together.
Georgia has more people than New York?
If you add all the listen to what I said. If you add all the SEC fans together, that's why. That's exactly what I just said. You spin my shit around like it ain't nothing.
So,
You spin
So,
everything
Ray-
that come out of my mouth like it ain't nothing. I did not say that. I said the SEC fans, period. Fans means the whole entire SEC fucking conference. Not one team, but a whole SEC conference together.
That was
Jesus.
my that was my objection, which was that you think that like the Pac-12 and being on the West Coast, where you got California, you got Arizona, which is like the one of the fastest growing states. You got all these people that are fans of USC, ASU. Then you go out to ACC where you're at. You got North Carolina, you got Florida, you got all that.
Well,
so there's a large fan.
Hold on. If you really want to break down the fan base of North Carolina, since you want to bring North Carolina in this,
I don't want to break down the fan base of North Carolina. That's not what I was trying to do. Hold on. No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to go down that.
I don't want to hear that about North Carolina because I'm about
no,
to bring
I wasn't bringing up North Carolina. You're not listening. You're listening to combat the situation.
I'm telling you.
Thank
what
you.
You just said about California having all these people. These people have more than what they're saying. I'm telling you,
understand that what I was saying
out of North Carolina is more than anybody else.
Thank you. That's my point. So that's my point of what I'm getting. That's the point. You're driving my point. My point is that all these other states have huge fan bases as well. So if the majority of college football fans are leaning towards the SEC, when every other conference has a huge fan base as well. The Michigan fan base is astronomical. Ohio's fan base is everywhere. USC's fan base is everywhere. So we got plenty of that. So my question was very direct: is the mass amount of people that watch college football?
I'll tell you for a fact. I don't survey people. I don't go out and do a survey. If I do a survey, then I can come with your damn direct answer. But I need to see the facts. I need to see the numbers. I need to do my own survey for that shit. I'm a facts person. I am a straight out facts. If I don't do a thing, I cannot.
And I apologize for not coming clear with my intentions of the question, because you didn't follow it.
I follow it.
My intention. No. I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna explain what I was getting at.
I don't think for other people.
That's not what it was
right now.
That's not what it was.
I'm sorry. I'm not opinionated.
It was an opinionated. It was an opinionated question.
I'm not an opinionated person. I'm a fact.
But everything that you've spewed for the last 45 minutes has been opinionated.
No, it isn't. What I spewed the last few minutes was facts.
No, I mean, you choosing the ACC over the SEC is an opinion. But
no, I just proved the fact between Florida State and the SEC. According to y'all's opinion, SEC is a whole lot better. I just proved the facts.
Hey, Dre, we're giving opinions. He's giving facts.
Paper, the game was played, and I showed you the thing. So,
it's a fact.
Anyways,
Ray does not like Alabama. It's a fact.
I don't like
Miami, Ohio. Wait, Ray, hold on.
I'll tell you.
Hey, you got a viewer chiming in. Chill out for a second. You got a viewer chiming in. Calm yourself. Dre on advice. I took Miami, Ohio +7 and under 43. Texas over 57 and -14. 455. Whoo! Hey, bro.
Who are they playing?
Woo! I'm going to it right now because I'm gonna tell you. First of all, we're going to start off with Texas because I don't trust Texas for shit.
At all. I don't trust this. In the month of November,
Alabama can't trust Texas either because they beat them.
God damn it. We going back to Alabama? Where's a permanent mute button? Fuck. I want an interpreter. I want an interpreter.
Hey, look. Hey, all I did was take your word and say y'all didn't trust Texas. I said Alabama didn't trust Texas either.
We talked about this at the beginning of the year, man.
Oh my God!
You lose or when you win.
So, all right, Jay. Since you say all beginning of the year and all this stuff, blah blah blah, we should take the beginning of the year and go to your facts and go to your 2 weeks. That's what you said. College game football is.
I said at the beginning of the year.
2 weeks. So we should play 2 weeks of games and call it a game.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Go back.
Scenario.
-14. Hold on, Ray. -14. So you picked Texas to beat Washington by 14?
I don't see that coming. I mean, they got to put up. That means there's going to be no defense at all.
They got to play 50. They got to put up 50.
They have to.
They just can't put up 50.
They have to.
Because in this under 43, Absolutely not. Penix going to score 3 touchdowns by himself.
I didn't know he was that good. I only watched 2 games of Washington this year.
Now,
only 2 games. I had to see the hype.
Now
Penix is nasty, bro. He's really
he
nice.
was like that. He was like that. He was like that at Indiana too.
Yeah, he's very conservative. He looked really good last year. Doesn't turn the ball over much. Makes good reads. He can run. He chooses not to because he has a really freaking good arm.
Mhm.
He's a big dude. He's fast as hell. Like, the dude is nasty, and he's very athletic. Like, and that. So real quick, because that brings me to my point, or to a point of, as far as these quarterbacks coming out this year. You got Caleb, you got Drake, you got Penix, you got
Drake hasn't
Bo.
decided if he's coming out yet or not.
Well, either has Caleb, but I'm just gonna put it as these guys are coming out until they say they're not. So you got Caleb, you got Drake, you got Bo, you got Jaden, you got Penix.
I wish I had paid attention to Jaden a little bit more.
Well, remember last year when me and you guys were, or the year before when me and you guys were talking about when Jaden was at ASU. And I was
Right.
telling you guys, Jaden is a very underrated talent. If he had a couple more weapons on that squad, we would have been in contention for Pac-12 championship year in and year out.
Same thing Coach Herm Edwards said.
Yeah. And then you look at the transfer of Emory Jones from LSU to ASU and Jaden going from ASU to LSU. There was a big change. Big change.
Well, that coaching
Jaden,
change affected ASU.
but see, I don't know. Yes, it did. The whole team, yes.
The way it happened, put it that way. The way it went down, whether
And the abruptness.
Yeah.
I agree. But the one thing that I seen was Jaden Daniels stepped his play up. Jaden Daniels started playing better. Jaden Daniels dropped the bad tendencies that he had at ASU. Yeah, he developed some new ones by, you always develop a little bit of new shit as you develop new shit. But Emory Jones went backwards. Emory Jones starts turning the ball over. Emory Jones starts making bad reads. Yes, you got a new offense, all that good stuff. I hear it, but Jaden Daniels has one too. Jaden Daniels went up in competition because you went to the SEC.
Yeah.
Emory Jones went down in competition, technically, because he went to the Pac.
Right.
Next year, Emory Jones off ASU roster, playing for a D2 team. Jaden Daniels is talking about possibly being a Heisman Trophy winner. And that's where I say Jaden is a very unique talent in this draft at quarterback, because you got a guy that has shown you that ceiling change.
And the way
in
the
college
NFL is evolving around quarterbacks, taking a chance on these young quarterbacks with playing within 2 years, and now with the injuries up like SOB in the NFL, the quarterback position, these guys, the way they're playing right now, look at the high schools that went through. Look at the technology that are using it to get better at their position. I mean, Jaden used VR to help him out to get a little quicker read on patterns and whatnot in defense selection. So I like all that coming into play. But at the same time, with 114 quarterbacks in the transfer portal as we speak today, that's interesting as well too.
Very, because see, we're gone with the days of he's good, but he's just a system quarterback. I wonder what he would look at with this. I wonder where he would look at here, because now these guys are saying, okay, well, I'm not getting the coaching that I was expecting to getting here at Notre Dame. Right. Notre Dame is great for running backs. Notre Dame is great for linebackers. Notre Dame is great for this. Now I see why there hasn't been too many quarterbacks drafted out of Notre Dame. Let me transfer to Washington. Let me transfer to Cal. Let me transfer to UCLA, where they're more quarterback friendly, transferring into the NFL. Exactly. So we're going to have players who maybe you didn't get the notoriety that you should have gotten in high school because your coaching staff at your high school wasn't privy on getting your
But not
name
iMac.
right. They didn't have that ability.
Right.
You get a year, and that's the other thing too. That's what JUCO was. It was a transfer portal setup, right?
Yep. Basically.
So now we're just taking it to a higher scale, and what we're going to see, to me, going back to Ray. Hopefully, I don't ignite his fire. We're going to see what Ray wants, and that's a level playing field for that ACC conference that he's dealing with over there. But no. In reality, though, Ray and Dre, this is what we're going to be seeing here in the next 5 years. Is okay. I'll take NoCal and North Carolina, and then ASU as an example. This year, ASU, we're about to lose our number one receiver, and Elijah Badger. I doubt he comes back. Our quarterback situation is meh. I mean, we got Rashada over there, but looking at you, Ray, you guys, Drake will probably end up leaving. If he does, you guys are gonna. But I'm saying, let's just pretend you don't. You guys, if he leaves, now you got a team that North Carolina is a very, very, very great college. Very great college. So a lot of players, a lot of quarterbacks are going to be looking like, that's open over there. Let me slide in North Carolina and get some competition.
Well, to answer that thing, no, we just picked up Max Johnson out of Texas A&M.
In the transfer portal?
Yep.
So that's my point. So
everybody's going to transfer portal. Carolina hits transfer portal all the time. They got Dez Walker. Dez Walker's now going to the NFL. He's already announced that he's going to play in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, that's my point. That's what I'm getting at is over the next 5 years, we're going to.
Except for Clemson. Clemson's the only team that really don't hit the transfer portal.
That's because of Dabo Swinney. Yeah, crazy ass.
And they do good. But they do great fucking recruiting. Yeah. When you're Alabama and you're Clemson, you don't need to hit the transfer portal.
Like, I'm good at this. I still use a phone book. I'm good at this.
The transfer portal is for teams.
Keep doing it.
Right. The transfer portal is for teams that don't do well in initial recruiting. Period. Yeah.
But if you're good at recruiting, man, what works for you, keep doing it.
Right.
Just because everybody else telling you use the microwave, don't mean you got to use the microwave.
Use that air fryer.
Yeah. I like the way Mac Brown does it. Mac Brown mixes it in. He takes a few out of the transfer portal, but takes mostly out of high school.
Right. Which you should.
It took Grandpa a long while to come around. That's why he didn't do well at Texas. Those recruiting tendencies he was using wasn't in commonplace down there in the language of come to Texas and play football for me. It wasn't working. It works better in the Carolinas for Mac Brown. That's more acceptable for the type of recruiting style that he has. He's good at it, though.
Yeah. And I mean, we're going to see more. I think we're going to see more of these younger. When I say younger, I don't mean age, but newer coaches take advantage of the transfer portal more than your Debos, your Jimbos, your Sabins, and these older guys that have been in here and laid groundwork for their recruiting. I mean, their past groundwork is recruiting for them today.
Yeah, these coaches today that are coming into the collegiate level coaching, whether it's a position coach or not, they're bringing something to the table. They got their eye on a player that they know about. Coach, I got 3 guys I'm bringing with me too. I got some linebackers coming. I got secondary cover. I got a quarterback you won't believe. I've been coaching since he's 5 years old. They're bringing something to the table other than the coaching aspect of it.
Right. So let me ask you guys this. Are you guys excited to see Mr. Manning next year?
I've seen the high school tapes. I've read columns. I need to see the shit for myself.
Me too.
I need to see it for myself. I'm tired of the pedigree, these great athletic family names. The dad was good. You had multiple sons. 2 of them were good. The other 2 should have never picked up the sport. And then we see the ones that remind you of the greatness of that family name. Then we say to ourselves, how can only one person out of 10 fucking kids not have any athletic ability? But we're going to see now how far down the food chain this athletic ability goes with the Manning.
What about you, Ray?
I don't know, man. When you hype people like, Jordan's kids didn't turn out to be anything really special. LeBron James, I know he's got one kid that's probably going to be, I don't think he's going to be that special like everybody else thinks he's going to be.
Which one don't you think is going to be special? Because one of them is nasty.
They might
Right
be nasty
on
right now
UFC,
on the
right?
level they're playing.
Yeah.
But then when I got to see him against the big dogs, like when he goes to the NBA. That's going to be the question for that.
I want to see his younger son. His younger son is nasty, man. He ain't even grown into his body yet. He gonna be nasty.
But I'm just saying, they all can look nasty now and all this stuff, but then when they get up against the professionals, that's why I want to see him at. Like Archie, I don't know. I mean, he looked great in high school. Some of the college games he played a couple of times, he only hand the ball off a couple of times. Throw the one pass, I think, out of the whole season. But then again, you got the same thing with that question is, hasn't even said that if he's going pro yet or not.
My thing, why is it that we always want athletic people that done good on the collegiate level or on the professional level? When we find out they had a kid, the first thing we think of, I wonder is he going to play ball?
Yeah.
And then we get one inclination that they're playing a sport. We say, oh, I can see that in them. Oh, there it is right there.
I'll give you the scenario here. Even Michael Jordan came out and said it himself. He said he's not even the best athlete in his family.
A lot of great athletes say that.
Well,
a lot of them say that. I wasn't shit my family.
His smallest brother that was in the army.
Yeah, Larry
always beat him.
Yeah. Everybody, you can be the biggest breadwinner in your family. I mean, in the world. Best singer in the world, but in your family, you can't sing worth the shit. You can sell at every arena you want to with your comedic performance, but to your family, motherfucker, you ain't funny. They've been knowing your whole life. They know things about you.
You've been saying that same joke for 15 years. You ain't funny.
Yeah.
But then,
I heard that
again,
joke when he was 3.
It's all going to come down to is you're going to go? Is he going to leave to go pro? That's going to be the question. If he doesn't, and he's going to be the starting quarterback next year.
I'm going to tell you right now, he better, because them NIL deals that they didn't pay for Archie Manning, they're going to start kicking in. And when they start kicking in, that boy going to be on the field. So that's another thing that's changing stuff.
They need to address that as a whole and they need clear verbal understanding for the parents that can't read, don't understand the language, the kids who don't understand the language, the coaches that don't want nothing to do with NIL. They need clear representation on what the fuck is going on. It's too much money. What is it, 386 cases of kids not getting paid?
Hey, no, forget the people not getting paid. There's also should be a cap. There ain't no damn way that you're going to have $20 million worth of NIL money and be possibly not going to the NFL because you're going to make more money by being in college for one more year. Ain't no damn way. Ain't no damn way.
The boosters going to do whatever they can to win. Whoever they're giving this money to. And NIL deals are a way to do it. You take a kid coming out of a situation, never even been in a car. And he gonna give you a fucking truck and $3 million a year. All you gotta do is stay here for 4 years. I'm staying at school.
Remember when was it Leangelo or was it LaMelo that went to China and wrecked the Lambo?
I think that was the youngest one, wasn't it?
It was either LaMelo or
that's the one that don't want to play basketball, the pretty boy.
It was Leangelo. Yeah. He gonna go to China and wreck a damn Lambo, knowing damn well that first of all, his ass, he should have been known. He couldn't even make the G League starting lineup.
Man, so when they showed him on TV and he kept rubbing his chin, he was done like, he feeling himself. He a pretty dude. He don't want to play ball. He don't want to play ball.
Dad already told him. He said, "Look, son, don't even worry. I'm gonna have you a nice little position here at BB Brand, Big Ballin' Brand, and you good. Don't even worry about it. Your little brother got you.
Learn some finance.
Your little brother's got you."
Yeah.
No.
But that NIL money, man, they need right now the backstory and the black story and the dark story of NIL is getting to a point. 60 Minutes in 2020 about to step in and do some investigating behind the scenes because something is not right. is too many bold, italic print stories coming out that nobody's paying attention to about these NIL deals. There's some lying going on somewhere. But what can be the advantage here? Just getting the kid in college, not taking care of the responsibility of the NIL? That can't be it. It has to be more to this that's going on.
But they have
these NIL deals.
They got to figure something out because you know Texas got the biggest freaking money out there. They can use the NIL deal than anybody.
Now,
let me tell you something.
Right? See, Texas A&M, before they went out and did something crazy and already hired a coach, I think you could have put together the perfect coaching staff, and we could have started a campaign.
He's already had
that fucking job at Texas A&M.
Hey,
can we agree?
My bad.
Go ahead, Joe.
My bad. Go ahead.
He's already took half his coaching staff from Duke with him.
Can we agree? Johnny Football started the NIL.
Yeah.
He brought
the NIL deal started gone way before him.
But to really the consideration and the craziness and how open it was about the money.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who started this.
Did you see the documentary?
I'm gonna tell you who started all this NIL deal.
Hold on, did you see the documentary?
Ray?
No.
Okay. Check out the documentary
and then you'll understand what we're trying to say.
Go ahead, Ray.
But I'm gonna tell you, Ed O'Bannon really started this with going after the likeness of the video games. That's where it really started.
With the O'Bannon boys.
Yeah.
Well, that was definitely a major player because that opened up the conversation. Without that conversation, I don't think what Johnny Manziel did would have kicked the door down. And I think once you watch, you really should watch as a sports fan and as a football fan secondarily. You should watch
hate
that
for the
Johnny
SEC
football.
out of it and just watch the documentary.
And just take it in because it really puts a point on what we've been arguing about for the last hour and a half. And what my question was of why do you think that majority of football fans lean towards the SEC? And he brings a big light on it. And what you just said has a lot to do with it as well. Texas there's so much money there. There's so much old money there.
Oh my
and God. when the Johnny Manziel thing came about, the old money erupted like a volcano. And Johnny
got one. Go dig up that old rig
right?
at the ground.
and Johnny was one of those guys that if the media didn't push Johnny wouldn't have cared about football.
No.
His roommate and him
were the man.
Yeah.
Were the fucking mans.
They were
the mans.
Some collegiate students see like some now the kid at Notre Dame, the running back, the kid at Michigan, the kid at Florida State. There's been some stories they put light on through College Game Day and the FCC network and ACC network about what these kids have been doing before NIL and with their NIL money to start something that they were already doing in high school or they started their freshman year in college for as marketing or logo or influence on something that's important to them. I like the uniqueness of that.
But watching, to my point though, Ray, what I was going to get out with that is when Johnny came in, to your point about Texas A&M and having all that Texas period, just having all that money, when the word got out that Johnny Manziel was on his way to Texas A&M, just a river of money started flowing. So
in cowboy hat.
in Johnny Manziel's eyes, he's eating boiled eggs and top ramen. Yeah. And he's seeing this school bring in hundreds upon hundreds of $1 million under his likeliness.
Right.
And Johnny was pissed in a sense like, bro, I'm getting my ass whooped week in and week out in practice and in the game. And I'm broke as fuck. I can't do shit. I can't go eat what I want. I can't take a girl to the movies. I can't get no gas in my whip. Yeah. Because I don't even got enough time to work.
His family was rich, but his family couldn't give him money.
That's another story. Another story.
No, you need to watch this, bro. You're gonna like it.
Bitter.
So they made that story up in order to protect himself from what he was planning on doing, which was going out and creating an NIL for himself, traveling the fucking world or the United States, signing autographs, getting paid for it, making appearances, getting paid for it,
right,
doing all this stuff because he saw Texas A&M making all this money. So, and like Dre had pointed out, his roommate was a genius. His roommate was like, "Hey, bro, nah,
let me tell you what you need to do. Let me break it down to you."
hey, they was smoking a blunt. He was like, "So you know what happened?
Best ideas happen over the blunt.
You know,
right, what we gonna
take
do,
this. Yep. You ain't gonna tell nobody. I got this story set up where we got an oil field in the back of Aunt May's house, and Aunt May is going. Just don't tell nobody that Aunt May is broke. Okay, just don't tell nobody Aunt May is broke, and we all good." That's exactly how it went down. That is exactly.
Oh my God.
And then they said, "You know what? You onto something." He said, "Watch this. Hey, Aunt May, I'm gonna pay you $2,000 a month to take these phone calls."
It is insane, man. It is insane. But they need to fix this NIL, man, because we lost like 7 players at Florida because of that.
Yeah.
Over NIL deals, lying to these kids.
But I also, Dre, I wonder, because you saw that Arizona. I don't know if people saw this. This was a story I think should have been nationally televised and had way more national attention. Arizona miscalculated their on-hand money by over $285 million.
How in the hell did he do that?
Somebody got some explaining to do. Somebody got to
How the
carry
hell
them
did
too,
that
or they
shit?
put too many decimal points. What happened?
Exactly.
Somebody
So they're
stole
under
some money.
investigation right now.
Yeah, somebody in
So-
finance department stole some money.
Right. And remember, with all these NIL deals coming in, there's so much more money flow coming into these programs. So now
that's
you
the
bring up a
thing.
great point about people not getting paid. Why are they not getting paid? Because NIL deals is there before they sign them, before they sign these players.
This is the article that was in Sports Illustrated last year. It was not that much data, but the data that they had, players didn't know where to get the payment from. You don't get it from nobody in the football school in the program. Coaches don't even know.
Can't. It's illegal.
So they didn't. The person who's responsible to pay them, that was confusion on where the money's coming from. Then they said that they had a liaison to help these kids out on the collegiate level with their NIL deal. So another college student that's probably in a finance program is going to help you out with your NIL deal. So I'm wondering, is that what's going on? The lingo, the language, the communication. What is the proper function? What is the show
I'll
me
tell
the
you what's
diagram
happening.
on how does receiver Joey get his
Receiver-
NIL deal money?
Receiver Joey got to call this dude named Dave in financing, but Dave ain't been to class in 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So-
Okay. I need to figure out. I mean, that could be at the communication.
No, because if we're putting on other college students, which I think the ideology in that is nice, put these dudes to work in the college, make it an in-house thing. Don't hire someone, give them real life, on-job experience.
Right.
Well,
but
this is what North Carolina did. The program hired a director of NIL department.
Okay.
That's cool, but again, that doesn't fix what we're talking about in the sense of
about
who's doing it.
Responsibility is on the payment. Who's responsible for the payment?
See, that's the problem, because nobody's listed anything about that. But I know that Amanda Bangkok gets $551,000 for his NIL deal, and that restaurant that he gets most of his money from actually pays him directly.
Okay. And I know that Notre Dame also has an actual program set up as well with their NIL deal. and they're getting the players more involved with it as well to actually take the class as well to help them out with their NIL in the process with the payment and moving forward when you leave Notre Dame. So I like that. But I think, again, the communication and the initial deal, the signage, who's paying me and when do I get paid?
Yeah, because I know EA Sports when they're doing the video games for the likeness and stuff like that for the players' data, they're putting a fund together for each player, and when they leave if they decide to leave early, once they leave the college and get a notification that they left the college, then they release that money to them for that part of the NI for their NI.
Because EA Sports comes back next year with college football, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You muted, Jay, or you're not talking. We can't hear you.
Supposedly, they were supposed to be back last year.
Well,
yeah, but they ran into some complications with the program. I thought
Right.
Yeah.
they were going to try to model it after 2K,
Yep.
and they were like, we shouldn't have done that, and they had to start over, something like that.
Yeah, they were trying to go back to that old. Yeah, that's a whole nother ball game. But
Yeah.
I will say this: I think that there's a couple of things that need to happen. No player should have over 20% of the NIL money that a college has. I think that needs to be something that should be written into there, because we won't get guys getting 20 million and then still have 20 guys on the team that don't have a damn scholarship.
I say 4 million should be the cap.
I mean, what's the
average?
What's the average yearly salary in the NFL?
Shit.
Let me find out. Average yearly salary in the NFL.
2.5? No.
they said if you do it by hours, it's $11 to $29 per hour.
Okay, so the average salary is about two.
About two and
Yeah.
2.5.
2.5 million.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So I think you should not be getting more than the median player in the NFL. I do not believe
in the NFL. Can you imagine being in the NFL and you find out Thomas Ruckerson out in Nebraska just got a $27 million NIL deal? What the fuck?
This is my part, Dre. This is my part. So I'm the starting linebacker for the Carolina Calgary, and this guy from the Winnipeg Hornets is making 28 out of college, and he's the linebacker. He gets drafted to our team, plays 10 downs, never plays again. Made $27 million his last year in college. I still am on a 5-year contract for the next 4 years. I mean, a $5 million contract per year for the next 4 years. What the hell?
Yeah.
Money matters.
Those are the ones.
Money
Those are the
matters.
ones.
When you break it down to its purest form, you're like, hold on now. Wait a minute. What? That's why I tell people all the time, pay attention. Pay attention to what you're signing. Don't just sign something because you heard the numbers. Read that shit. Read it all the way through. Some people out here actually thought when they see something, you make $40,000 a year. Some people actually thought, you're not going to believe this, that you got your $40,000 up front on January 1st. You got paid every year that much money. People actually thought that at one time.
I'm going to tell you right now, if 70% of Americans got their money for the year on January 1st, 60% of Americans would be homeless in July.
Yeah, according to this, Bronny's making $5.9 million for his NI deal, and Shakur Sanders is making $4.8 million from his deal.
Hey, can you imagine?
What does Deion stop giving them allowance? When did it stop?
Never. Hey, if I'm Deion, I ain't coming out of his pocket.
And then
I'm done. I'm not paying for nothing else no more. I'm done.
And then this year alone, Bronny will make $6 million.
Who?
LeBron James' son, Bronny. He will be making $6 million.
But see, now, hold on. Let me put this in perspective. Caleb Williams, Bronny James, right?
Right.
Caleb Williams, huge in the media, huge, right?
Yeah.
Bronny, right there. You know this thing that Bronny got though? He has an extra leg. It's called LeBron.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. He got his dad.
And so you're getting two promoters in one with Bronny. So I understand the money that Bronny gets.
I got to
Just
spend all the money all the kids get. I'm not hating on the money. None of these. Hey, kids go. We heard the story when a kid at UConn wasn't eating food. That didn't look good. Now these kids are able to eat. Well, some of them had to buy a cheeseburger for one, got in trouble for that. That's another story. But for the long point, I just wanted to get figured out.
But see, and that's my point too, though, Dre. I don't believe that kids are eating now, because the guys that have NIL deals were eating last year and eating the year before and eating the year before that. The guys that the NIL was supposed to help, there's not helping yet.
No.
Boom.
That's the guy. That's the guys that are on the bench that doesn't the star players. They're not really helping the star players out.
Is it on the player to sell himself, or do he can't get an agent?
No, there ain't no money there for them.
There's no
So
money
how
for them.
How you supposed to whore yourself to get an NIL deal legally?
You're not.
You got to be a mega star to get them things.
Yeah, this NIL deal situation is not set up the way they intended it yet.
Man, I'm making videos, eating my favorite food, wearing my
Don't
favorite
matter.
clothes. I'm gonna let them know.
It don't matter. You're not on the field.
You're not playing.
I'm getting
You
on the
shouldn't have
field
been.
one day, coach. Everybody has
Hey.
a chance.
Hey, I'm going down to that mom and pop shop that sell the tamales down at the corner. Like, hey, I
I'm
do
going.
play for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wear a uniform. I'm on the bench. You know, I use my number, my name,
it's not-
come up with some type of marketing campaign, something. But
What
give me some food.
what Jay's more talking about is not benefiting the people that are not the star players or not the starting five, or the people that are riding
Damn
the bench,
good point.
like the walk-ons and all them other people.
Can you imagine playing for Vanderbilt and being second stringer and trying to get some NIL money?
At Vandy, I think you cool at Vandy, even if you're not playing. I mean, Nashville got some money, period.
But you're not getting in a second string.
No,
Not in Vandy, because Vandy
No.
ain't getting enough media. So
No.
Vandy ain't paying their low man who ain't getting no media.
yeah, you got Vandy don't get on TV that much.
No.
You got to be impactful.
Mhm.
You got to do some wild antics when you score a touchdown or get a sack or get a turnover. Fuck a turnover chain. You need to get like an actual human around your neck.
My dude wears a chinchilla in the end zone every time
That
he
is.
scores.
You got to do something off the damn chain. I don't know. Eat some barbecue in the end zone when you score. I don't know. Wave at a cheerleader every time you're on the bench. I don't
Chew
know,
on a
but
corn
I-
husk or something.
Yeah, I would figure out a way on the bench. I suit up every day. Rudy, I'm suiting up. You're gonna know Dre on the bench, and I'm gonna get me some NIL money. That's
I'm
one damn thing for sure.
gonna step in the end zone in my State Farm khakis.
Something. I'm gonna slide on the grass after the game. I don't know.
No, but that okay. I hate that this is just a triggering comment thing, but even looking at ACC and SEC, and I think this is another reason why they're getting a little bit more oomph. The media pushes them. I agree with you 100%. And SEC is always on television. Now you switch gears and you go to like the Mountain West. Those guys are not on television.
The Mountain West Network is those announcers. Oh my God. How do they get these jobs? It's quarterback.
Because we got to have somebody to fill them, so they just put them in the conference.
It looked like it's going to be a pass play right here, Jim. What do you think? I could see that middle one's open. There's a completion right there of 6 yards, brings up second down. That's how they call a game.
It's like the
Are
Mountain.
you watching that?
That's because the athletic director used to be the spelling bee champion, so he went and got all the spelling bee announcers.
No,
I want to feel like I'm at the damn game. I'm not saying you got to Dick Vitale the game every time, but damn,
Hey, but you're right. They be like
they just
First
so
down.
monotone with it.
and 10.
There's a long 87-yard.
What they do is they go hire people like out of college, like they go to like these sports communication programs and say, hey, look, hey, we got this conference for you. You want to be on TV? Come to us and we'll help you move up. That's basically what it is.
But
No,
any sportscaster out there right now that's in school to be a sportscaster has got to have somewhere in the back of their mind. Well, when I get on TV, I'm gonna have a little bit more enthusiasm. I'm gonna I want to be in the game. I want to play the game with them.
They found them at the local paddle ball
at the JV junior varsity midget football game every
local paddle ball gym. No, but
Jimmy and Bob over here calling the game.
But see, the program I'm in for sports broadcasting, Dan Patrick does help people out. What you do is you submit a 2-minute tape to them, and Dan will listen to them, and then he'll have a big community call with all the sports broadcasters at Full Sail, and he'll break down everybody's thing and tell you what you're doing wrong, what you need to change, and stuff like that. But he does it more professionally because he'll actually come to the university down there and go into the studio and say, hey, look, this is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be corrected. But more people coming out of Full Sail are getting hired by like Fox, getting hired by like ESPN, getting hired by
just the name of the school.
Yeah. It's
just the same thing like Harvard's or any of those. You got that name on it, it gives you a chance. It gives you a first chance
that's all
trial.
We want, coach, is a chance. All I want is a chance, coach.
Hey, like you said, put me in, coach. Just give me one.
Give me a chance. All it takes is one person notice you. All it takes.
So let me ask you this, Ray. So we listened to you earlier. Your major push was the undefeatedness. Minus ACC, minus SEC, minus conferences and whatnot. Your major push was if you're undefeated, you should be able to make the bowl. Make the playoffs. If we go to an 8 or we go to a 12, do you think? And if it's a yes, which one should have an automatic bid for an undefeated season? And we got to premise this with, you got folks like Liberty. Do they automatically get a bid?
See, you're talking to a person that doesn't believe in these 12 men and stuff like that. I believe in this is what I really honestly was hoping they would do. Is take the model of what they do with the FCS. Take the top 25 teams. You take the first, number 1, number 2 gets a bye the first week. And then you play the top 25 teams, and they play it out to they become eventually 2 teams in the national championship. That's my opinion. That's the best model that you can actually put out there.
So that's the format you want. You want the playoff format, top 2 teams getting a bye.
Yep.
Okay.
That's my honest opinion. I think it'll be fair to everybody that if you make the top 25, whatever depends on how they rank the top 25, but it's the basic model. It's the best model that you can actually do. You take the top 25 teams.
The only reason why I don't agree with that is because I believe that the lower half, past 13 to 25, I believe you're going to have a lot of missing players.
Well, let's just say they don't think about that. The players don't think about, missing bowl games because what they want to do on Sundays and the fear of getting hurt, all that. But just in that format, I think it'd be interesting to see. See, even back in the day when they did all the bowl games on one day, play all them fucking games in one day, and they was more based on the ranking. Your ranking got you in certain bowls back then. Then they went with the point system. Yeah. I think the point system really pissed people off. That's why it didn't last that long. In the BCS, no matter how crazy it got, in the end, the BCS got it right with the teams in the national championship. Now we've been in this format here, college football format, and the competition has gotten better. Conferences have improved a whole lot. The Pac-12, the Big Ten, ACC, the SEC is getting stronger. And the expansion of these conferences, TV deals have all put the eye on college football in a way they saw it coming, but not this fast. So now this format is not working now.
Well,
people see more competition and more teams.
Let me answer this question. Bill, we'll be breaking down here in the next 15 minutes. We'll be breaking the Army and Navy game down, and we'll tell you about the point spread and all that stuff. during that segment. So let's just finish up this segment here. Then we can get to the Army Navy game. That's going to be the next. That's going to be about 11:15. So we take this one all the way about 11:15 on. We'll talk about the Army Navy game. So all right, go ahead.
No, I agree. I agree with you guys. I mean, we're gonna see some changes. I'm not sure if I like the 12. I'm not sure. I mean, I like the 12 better than the 8.
Yeah, that's what she said.
If you follow the logic of this format, every time they had somebody had a controversial call, they bumped it up this year. Thought they were going to do away with a controversial call. Now they got this one. Now the 12 is going to come up. Something else is going to happen. Eventually, we're going to end up having that format that I was talking about because it's going to bring so much controversy. Because this championship is not really a true championship. Basically, to my eyes, this is not a really true champion. You're not getting the team opportunity to play for the national championship that deserves to be playing for the national championship. I mean, you can go. I'll make a comeback for Liberty. Hey, if Liberty has that good year, hey, let them play. Let them see what they up to the top of the contest.
That's
Most people don't like that
about that school. That's
but
a wild story.
Still, yeah, it is wild. It was. I mean, every year we're gonna have somebody. I think Lafayette was towards the end of the season last year. Then we had Coastal Carolina.
Madison was getting close.
Yeah, we had Coastal Carolina the year before.
One of the damn Dakotas do it every damn year.
North Dakota State always is right there.
North Dakota and them are FCS, not.
But we're talking about teams going undefeated.
Yeah, but they're the championship football series, though.
Okay, well, even then, I mean, Coastal Carolina. Now, Coastal. I will say that Coastal Carolina, 2 years ago, they looked really, really, really good.
Yes.
Unlike Liberty, unlike Lafayette, unlike James Madison, unlike a few of these other schools, Coastal Carolina looked like they could compete.
They looked like they were going to come up.
The year UCF, UCF claimed their national championship.
Oh, heck yeah, UCF did their thing. They tried to make their point. They tried that back in the day with Dante Culpepper, not Culpepper, Steve McNair.
Yeah, Steve McNair.
They tried that back in the day because they went undefeated. Yep. Like, hey, we want a shot too. I get your point. If you go undefeated, you like, hey, we did our job. Where I shot at?
But who'd you play?
Well, my pizza party at, Daddy. We won the game. We went undefeated. I want pizza.
But that comes back, and I hate to beat a dead horse on what we were talking about, Dre. Who did you play? When you look at the SEC, hold on. Let me finish this sentence. When you look at the SEC, when you look at the ACC, when you look at the Pac-12, and you run the numbers, the competition level of these conferences is superior than others. So when you run it through, they don't qualify.
That's what they were saying about. That's what Texas, when they schedule changed, that's exactly what the commentators were saying. You're going to see more schools getting these early season big time matchups to get that strength of schedule where it needs to be. Because in years past, you get the Bethune-Cookman against Florida. You'll get Coastal Carolina playing Notre Dame. You would get those games like that back in the day. And it would build up, and you'll be like week 5 to a team really got tested. And competitors and fans of college football be like, well, damn, they ain't played nobody yet. They haven't played anybody yet. So now there are more teams taking that risk of adjusting their schedule to appease to the crowds, the naysayers out here. Well, you need to play somebody each and every week.
But really? See, now that's a double-edged sword.
Right.
Because Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, USC, Michigan, them playing those smaller schools like Demuth or whatever, Coastals, when them playing Eastern Michigan, when they're playing these smaller schools, do you know how much money that school just made from having that trip to Michigan or Georgia or
usually the schools, the better team, like Alabama, travels. They're paying them to come down there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
because all those Bama fans are down there.
All the Bama fans, the media, the commercial play, there's so much money
And those small towns love that shit when those big. They know they about to get beat down, but they don't care. Hotels sold out for the whole week.
They need it. It saves face, and so it's a double-edged sword for us as fans. Will it be better? Hell yeah.
We're so damn selfish sometimes.
We are
football fans. We need to think about the whole aspect of the game sometimes.
Well, look at this though.
Timmy's mom, Julie, the single parent down the street. Let's think about that shit.
Well, you know,
Joey transferring from his NIL deal.
Well, in 2018, they told UCF that they couldn't play with the big boys, right? That's basically what they're saying. Did you know that they beat a 10-4, number 10 ranked team, Auburn, in the bowl game that year?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they won 34-27.
And they won.
Auburn was 10-4
at the camera.
10-4.
At the camera.
10 ranked.
Auburn was 10-4. You know what that tells me? Something we talked about earlier. Once you lose 2 games, your season's shot.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Wrap this shit up.
That's what you said, but 2018, Georgia lost 2. They lost 2 games total.
Yeah.
And Auburn was 13, and Alabama was 13-1 when they won the national championship against Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2
only
games.
Other team was UCF.
We can talk.
Georgia didn't win the national championship.
When was that second loss? How many points? What time of the year was it?
They lost by 3.
But you start out the year 0-4 in Bama. You're not going to no damn bowl, probably the cereal bowl.
Also, one of the things we got to look at, Ray, when you look at those, is we got to do a slight deep dive and see what players elected not to play in those games.
Well, 2018 players didn't. They played. They
doing that shit.
They couldn't exit out like they did this year. In 2018, that was not the first time they exit players out. First time exit players out was in 2019.
I think when Bosa first did it, when he first went public,
Bosa
he was
the
not
one
playing
that
that bowl game. Other potential NFL draftees or people thinking about maybe they have a shot at the NFL, like saying, is this bowl game really important that I play in it? What am I getting out of this if I play in this bowl game? I think some of these players right now in that position to come back to college, turn pro, or go get this job at my dad's company. They're in that position right now. What to do? Do I play in this bowl game? What's it going to do for me? Is this going to help the resume or fuck shit up?
Oh, shoot.
Hey, what's going on, Wally?
All right, I'm gonna be getting out of here. I do have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since Dre kind of brought it up earlier, who is your favorite junior, so to speak? Who's your favorite son or family member of a great on his way up from college right now?
Ooh.
Who are you looking for the most?
Well, going to the pros or anything?
Well, yeah, just coming from college to transition into pros. Which story are you watching the most? Which one do you like the most?
Marvin Harris Jr.
Marvin?
No.
That's a good one. He's not a junior, but it's his son, Kurt Warner's son.
Kurt Warner? That's another really good one.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I didn't see that coming. That's another shocking. I didn't see that coming. And then the Ed McCaffrey's other son. I'm looking at the quarterback.
He looks really good.
I bet Dad didn't play. Throw the ball to me, son.
Christian,
imagine your dad, a former NFL receiver, and you're a potential quarterback. Can you imagine those father and son meetings? Go to the park. Let's go throw the ball, Dad. Sure, son. Let me grab my cleats. Wow.
And then Christian in there, man, and
running back. You got a
he's nasty, man.
You got a wide receiver there. You got a quarterback, and you got a running back.
Yeah, that's pedigree right there.
But,
so and the ones we don't know about, the ones that
out of all the Mannings, Cooper Manning would have been the best out of all the Mannings.
Based on high school footage, yes. That's all I can go on.
Well, he got seriously injured.
So if I'm going high school footage, this boy Archie looks nasty. Archie looks like a damn NFL quarterback in high school.
No, they got there's a kid. He's not in high school yet. It's what's his name? It's his son, but they don't have the same last name. See, a lot of kids in college don't share.
He's a quarterback.
He's a quarterback, but he's not in high school yet.
I think I know who you're talking about. They were just talking about him like last week. He's like a
top 2
eighth grader
quarterback.
Ain't he like an 8th grader?
Yeah. But
yeah, he's like
big.
6
He's
foot.
like 6'3". Yeah.
Yeah, the dude is huge. I know who you're talking about too.
But his dad's a really popular
Derrick
NFL
Henry.
player. But they don't share the same last
name.
name.
High school up here where I live at. Derrick Henry, when he used to play when he was in high school, that dude lined up on the football field out here. That dude looked like a freaking man beast. He would run over people like
normal size. You tackle him down low, that's a business decision. Yeah, okay.
Dude, he had the
one
most
tackle
yards
to get your $1 million bonus.
Yeah,
you ain't getting hit by a car, but you getting hit by a damn 4-wheeler.
I do.
You make one more tackle, you get your bonus for the year, $1 million.
And that's your tackle.
Last opportunity to tackle somebody. And it's him, Derrick Henry. Or you making that tackle, Ray?
I'll go up against him, but I'll probably get hurt. But I'll take him head on. I ain't scared of nobody. Like I'm gonna tell you what.
It ain't got nothing to do with fear. Common sense.
I'm gonna tell you. The person that I played against in high school was Rodney Rogers. He played basketball and football for Durham Hillside. That dude was 6'4", 235-pound tight end.
But you feed somebody like that back then. Damn.
Dude, he
Turkey
caught the
legs.
ball. I hit him. That dude like almost broke my back. But I got him to the ground, and he looked at me like, dude, you're the first person ever to hit me like that to get me to the ground. But that dude was 6'4", 235 pounds, tight end. And he could have gone pro in football, but he decided to play basketball. He dominated basketball, too. He was like a man beast out there.
Boy, Rodney Rogers played in Phoenix, boy. We used to watch him on a regular.
Yeah, rest his soul.
Yes, sir.
He's paralyzed from the waist down. I think he passed away. I'm trying to clarify with one of my friends. I think he passed away.
No, I think he passed away recently within the last couple of years.
Hey, before you get out of here, Jay, how them shirts coming?
Man, so actually, it's good to ask me that. So I actually need to go down and print your guys' out here, but I just bought a heat press so I can start doing them at the house and not waiting on people. So we're moving up, man. We moving up.
That way I can start rocking it around the loop. People can ask questions. What's ASAP all about?
Yeah, we gotta get you a hoodie and a shirt.
I actually wore this to the North Florida basketball game the other day. And
Did you get on TV?
They asked me what this was. I said, well, it was a sports organization that we started on Facebook, me and Jay and all. We have a whole bunch of group. And they started, I gave them the website and stuff. The next day I seen them at Target. And they like come up to me, oh, y'all doing pretty good things out here.
Target.
Mm-hmm. Target. Get it right.
It's the only shopping place I go to. I do a walk through a dry run, then I get my shopping cart.
Well, I would go there, but when I found out they don't support anything with the military, I quit going. So
I told somebody this yesterday. We have Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Pearl Harbor, and the Army Navy game. And the only 4 times people really think about the military in my eyes.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Or when we hear about some BS on the news.
Yeah. That's the only time people look at a veteran. Thank you. We appreciate your service. They ought to do more for you guys. They should give you free housing and vehicles and health care, a whole lot.
And then they wake up the next day and go back to their shit.
Yeah. Because the fuck have you served? Damn. Damn, Ted. I saw this yesterday. Let me ask you this one question, Ray. Jay, did you serve?
No, sir.
I'm watching this Christmas movie yesterday, and they're about to do the family grace, and the mom says, well, thank God your brother's home. The war was kind of hard on him. His other brother said, what war, Mom? He fell out the back of a truck the 3rd day of boot camp.
Wow.
And he was discharged. He's not a veteran, Mom.
He ain't ever been nowhere. I will say this though, about my question. Mine is obviously I love watching Marvin Harrison. But I'm gonna say two names outside of Marvin since you already said them. Number one is Rice.
Ooh.
I can't wait to see what he does. He's coming out. He declared for the draft. It's going to be really interesting seeing where he goes and watching his career develop. Damn, I'm actually going to name three. My bad, because this other one just popped in. Tyler Trussell.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Frank Gore.
Ooh. I can't believe how long Frank Gore played in the league.
And now his son's finally coming in, and he's good. He is good. He is a good running back. He reminds me a lot of his dad coming out of college. Just grit, grind, just heart. Like, he reminds me a lot of his dad coming out of college. And then the last one, Mr. Joey Horn. I'm really intrigued by what I've seen with Horn Jr. in Colorado, being the third or fourth receiver on the roster as far as the options go. I'm surprised, and I want to see what he turns into as well. So those are my guys right now. I'm watching Harrison, Rice, Gore, and Horn. Those are my guys that I'm watching.
Well. I throw Bo Nixon. Did his daddy get a shot though? Did his daddy went on a practice squad in the pros?
I think he was on practice for like a year or two.
Yeah.
I don't know what Bo Nixon's gonna do, man. I've talked about it for 3 years.
He got a chip on his shoulder.
He does have a chip on his shoulder.
His upbringing, what happened at Auburn, Ole Miss, and what happened at Oregon. And Caleb Williams has a chip on his shoulder.
But Bo's a baller. Don't get me wrong.
No, he can throw the rock. He can throw that pill.
I just don't know.
How about Jason Taylor's son?
Oh, Jason Taylor's son?
Yeah,
ain't he like 6'6" too? 6'7"?
He's a tight end at LSU.
He's huge,
whole
bro.
damn family big. Joey not short. Damn, I want to see the mom and dad. Damn.
Like Yao Ming, mom and dad, they were like 7'8" and 7'6". The mama was taller than daddy.
Yeah, man, make it make sense.
No, he's sitting there at two bleachers at once.
Like, I'm looking around sports, man. It's a lot of 7-foot people now.
My oldest son is projected to be 6'7".
Jesus.
And my younger son is projected to be 6'4".
I'd have him blocking. I'd have him blocking the kitchen table before dinner.
I'm 5'10". My wife's only 5'4".
No, I said, how old are your kids?
My oldest son is 13. My youngest son is 8.
Hey,
and your youngest son is projected to be 6'7"?
No, my younger son is projected to be 6'4". My older son is projected to be 6'7".
Damn.
Your older son, I'd have him blocking the kitchen table every day before dinner. He'd be out there like, let me see a swim move, son. Let me see a swim move. Get to the chicken. Get to the chicken.
I'm 5'10". He's probably about 5'9" right now.
God.
My tallest kid is 6 feet. My son, my oldest boy, and my daughter is 5'9".
Oh, that's okay.
But I'm 6'2".
My younger brother was projected to be 4'10". He's now standing 6'2".
Who would tell somebody you're only gonna be 4'10"? I'll kick you in the face.
When he was 10 years old, he was only like 4 foot even.
I don't give a damn.
And then
the doctor that told me that my son was gonna be 4'10" and he got 6'2", I'm looking for him.
I went to boot camp at 19 years old. I was taller than my brother. I came out of boot camp. My brother was already taller than me.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. Right.
That was 5 pounds of hamburger meat.
Yeah.
What did you put in that numbing stuff that you put in his teeth the other day? He did grow 2 feet in the last 2 weeks. Like, what's going on?
I mean,
I went to boot camp.
I
went to boot camp. My brother was 4'5" when I went to boot camp. I walked out of boot camp. My brother shot all the way up, and he was taller than me when I came home.
Did you say you were 4'5"?
No, my brother was 4'5" when I.
When you went to, I thought you said I was 4'5" when I went into boot camp.
You sure
came out 5'10".
That movie with Angelina Jolie. That little boy wasn't her son.
I came out of boot camp and came home. My brother was taller than me.
Hey, they trying to make the military look fun and engaging.
They can't.
It's
There ain't no way they gonna do that now.
They nobody yelling at them in the damn infomercial they doing, showing people what they do.
You ready for this? They got stress cards now. They get stressed out. They hold the card up.
Stress cards.
Yeah, they got stress cards now. They can't if they feel like they come to commander or anybody's yelling at them too hard, they can hold the stress card. They got to stop yelling at them.
Yes.
You know what?
You're yelling at me, Trim Sergeant.
You know what? Listen, kids can call the police on their parents for getting a normal butt whooping today. So things have changed in this world. Things have changed.
It's so bad about it. I went to the military base and seen a E2 walk past a lieutenant, didn't even salute him, and the lieutenant didn't even say nothing.
No. See, no. What?
Back in our day, the chief yelled at us when we went off the base and I done the reads. And we got yelled at him. And we had to go back and get changed and everything else.
What they tell you, son, I don't work too hard for this. You're gonna salute me for the man I am. Pop tall, son.
Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you letting me hop on with you.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it. Way to bring it.
Yes, sir. Hey, before I leave, Ray, SEC is better than ACC. Just
shit.
No, they're not
about to lose it now.
Not this year.
He's about to go King Kong Bundy on me.
ACC has to win a record against the SEC this year. Sorry. That's a proven fact. Not opinion. That was a fact.
I got you, Billy. I'm gonna hold it down, bro. I got you, Billy.
Oh my God.
Hey, get back in the picture, man.
Oh my God.
We gotta get ready to talk about our favorite our Navy Army game, man. It's that time of year. What you call it? And want to know about the Army Navy line? We'll tell you that. We'll tell you what Dre thinks, who's gonna win, how much is gonna win by, over and under. We're gonna get all that here. Let's talk about the both teams comes in at 5-6. The Army Black Knights versus the Navy Midshipmen. This game is played in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, for the first time in a long time. That they are not playing in Philly or New York or Baltimore. Now they're playing in. Do you see a trend that this game will start to be moving around to where all military bases are located at that has a college or a pro football stadium?
I think that would be awesome. I get the fact what they're doing with this weekend, the Patriot type of thing, how patriotic it is to play at that stadium, and what they've been doing with the pregame ceremonies that started Thursday there. I like that, but I would like to see it travel. I really would like to see it travel to give more people the opportunity not to just see it on TV, but to be a part of the ceremonies, to be a part of the actually going to the physical game itself. I don't know what the process is on how they do that. Is it a contract? Is it a year-to-year situation? Do they do bidding? They take submissions from people? I want to know how that works. I'm going to reach out through social media and see what we can do to get that game here at Busch, not indoor in our damn dome garage, but at our Busch Stadium.
Yeah, and this is the first time that this year that the WWE had salute to the troops in the same vicinity of the thing. Foxborough is only like 2 hours away from Providence, Rhode Island. So they had Dan Nestler, who's going to commentate the game with Daniels today. He was at the SmackDown salute to troops. A bunch of military guys. You've seen some Naval Academy guys there, and some West Point guys were there. Also, I think that's kind of good. WWE is trying to mirror. They are trying to talk with the Army Navy game to get the vicinity of the salute to troops on the same weekend in the same vicinity as the football game, which is kind of, to me, is symbolic, because I think it's kind of good to, represent
who blows the horn, bro?
And stuff like that. So that's another thing that's coming up here too in this one. It's going to be 43 degrees there, partly cloudy at game time.
Good barbecue weather
at 3:00. We know both teams like to run the ball. We know both teams like to possess the ball. Does Navy get it done today, possessing the ball more than what they can get from the Army side?
Well, this game is very predictable on what's going to happen offensively. I mean, you can have a quarter bets in your own home with your kids. You try and explain to them the importance of this game, the significance of it, what it means to you. But offensively, we're not looking for a 300-yard passing, 250 yards rushing on either side. I think Navy's type of run style, I think they have the upper hand this year. And I don't want to say the line, but I saw the line. I agree with it. I think Navy is going to have an easier time running the ball this year than they had last year.
And you say that very confident because this is what I don't get when I look at the stats. Navy's quarterback is thrown 40 out of 75, 522 yards, and 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But the Army quarterback is thrown at 53 out of 106, 859 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. But the Navy, between the two leading receivers, the Navy guy has 15 receptions, 326 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And the Army guy only has 9 receptions, 266 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Spreading the ball out.
So the Army has a better passer and then the Navy, but the Navy has the Army has a better rusher who leading rushers daily, 188 carries, 817 yards, 7 touchdowns. But Taizé for the Naval Academy has 117 carries, 724 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So
I know earlier in the year, Army was really showing things in the highlights. I haven't seen either team play a full game this year. I've just seen highlights. I know at the beginning of the year, Army was showing flashes that they changed. I think they got a new offensive coordinator. Something happened with Army. They were throwing that ball a little bit more than I've seen Army throw the ball earlier this year. I don't know what they've done after week 7. And then Navy was running the ball a little bit better this year in the highlights that I saw. So I'm basing on the highlights that I've seen. Again, I haven't seen either team play a full game who would do that. But based on what I've seen on the highlights, I like the chances of Navy today at the running game. I see the advantage point coming to Navy running attack.
now, if you look at it, the last 2 games for both teams, they're coming in on 0-2 losses. Army lost to LSU 62-0 and lost UMass 21-14. Navy's coming in after losing to the Air Force 17-6 and losing to Temple 32-18. So
Damn, I thought we were gonna be in the Air Force game. Really did. I really did.
we lost by 11.
Now see, classic point. Army losing to LSU. What you think Army got out of playing LSU that they could use, that they used throughout the season after that game that benefited them in playing LSU? When teams have a lopsided matchup like that, Coach, what are we supposed to get out of this? How to play the position?
Well, I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Army's last 2 games, they're coming in on a 3-game winning streak. They beat Air Force, Holy Cross, and CCU. They lost to LSU on October. They lost to UMass in 28. Flip it around for the Navy. The Navy is coming in 2-3. They lost to UAB. They lost to East. They beat UAB. They beat ECU, and they lost to SMU 59-14.
Damn.
So my mistake. I read it from backwards up.
You're fine.
Huh?
When I see a lopsided matchup like that again, I want to know what is the learning point here? What are we supposed to get out of this, Coach? What are we supposed to do losing 62-0 to LSU? Coach, please enlighten me. What are we supposed to learn from this to help our collegiate career as individuals and as a team?
Yeah.
What would you say to your team if you were the coach of Army? What would you say after that? 62-0. And one of the players said, Coach, we just lost 62-0. What was that for? What are we supposed to do now?
What they used to tell me was, and we had a lopsided loss like that, was you know how your game plan was. It wasn't very good. But it was the communication of us still fighting for 4 quarters, even though we didn't score or anything like that. But we still give the best we could out there to do it. But, when you play against a grown man team and you're playing against a Power 5 school like that, you probably figure that you're not going to come in there and get anything really. But 62-0 is kind of hard to tell you what you're going to learn from the team. Throw the tape away and move on to the next game. Basically, that's you can't really say nothing to them.
But to be a person on a part of the lopsided loss, to be a player on a lopsided loss, and individually you didn't play your best and you question yourself why. You can play better, But you're constantly seeing the game over and over in the highlight reel that we all have in our head when we win or when we lose.
Right.
But those lopsided losses that we go through, either watching the team, being a part of a team, or a player part of a team on a lopsided loss, the psychological effect it has on you is something else to deal with as the individual. Now, the team got to come together and say, hey, how do we go from there? Coaches, the players only meeting. We got to get this off our chest. We can't play like that again, ever. And then if you win, you got to say to yourself, we got to play like that each and every time. But you're never going to face competition like that again as the winning team, 62-0.
Yeah, it's like that. I mean, for that, but then if you look on the Navy side, Navy's, the blowout, the most points they lost by was 32-18. Let me pull up their full schedule here and see what they have if they had a lopsided loss this year. They was in
that game with that. There was a late two score. I think it was 2 turnovers, consecutive turnovers, something crazy that happened when Navy was in that game. And I think it was 2 late scores or something.
Yeah, they lost to Notre Dame 42-3.
Not that game. No. Navy and Notre Dame is a different type of a language.
Yeah.
It's you've been with your girl for 10 years. You've been with her for 10 years. But you run into the girl you were with before her for only 6 months.
Yeah, the second week
you
of the
still
game.
Have something.
Yeah, the second one they beat Wagner 24-0. Then they lost to Memphis 28-24. Then they lost to South Florida 44-30. Then they beat North Texas 27-24. They beat Charlotte 14-0. Lost to Air Force 17-6. Lost to Temple 32-18. Then beat UAB 31-6. Beat ECU 10-0. Lost to SMU 59-14. But today's game is going to be a little bit of thing because both teams could come bowl eligible. With one of these teams is going to come bowl eligible at 6-6.
At the Lee's Chicken Guacamole Bowl.
Or the Military Bowl.
I think Vegas and Charlotte, North Carolina have the most bowl games this year as far as people playing there. Because when I was looking at the different bowl games, looking at the locations, Charlotte is on there.
Yeah, Charlotte's got the Duke Mayo Bowl.
But they had they had a championship game. The ACC championship was played there.
Yeah, ACC championship game is always there.
And they got this. They got another bowl game. They got 2 bowl. They had the championship game and they got 2 bowl games. There's another bowl game played there.
Oh man, let me
like December 13th or something, or the 27th, somewhere down the line. And I was like, wait a minute. In Vegas, there's a plethora of fucking games there. Well,
yeah, they got that new stadium too.
It's Vegas, baby. We got to pay the bills, Dre. Got to keep the lights on here.
Let me see here. Oh, they got let's see here. Let's see, Charlotte. They got the Duke Mayo Bowl on December 27th. That's the Duke Mayo Bowl.
I thought I saw them on there for another one. Or maybe just the ACC championship in that.
It was the ACC championship in that, and then the Park Tart Bowl is going to be played at the Camping World Stadium in Orlando. That stadium was a dump.
Is there a bowl game in Jacksonville this year?
Yeah, the Gator Bowl.
That's right. Damn it.
Clemson versus let's see here, Clemson.
And how is the new Jacksonville facility coming?
Well, they are still in negotiation talks right now. The city wants to do it in 4 stages. The team wants to do it in 2.
Okay.
The city wants to keep the team here and do it in 4 stages. The team wants to leave, let them do it in 2 years instead of 4 years, and then bring them back after the stadium gets built. Because they got to tear down the whole.
What are they going to move to and play?
Right now, if the team gets their way, they're either going to play in Camping World Stadium in Orlando, or they're going to go play at or Florida State said no, because they wanted to play at Florida State at first. They said no, and then Florida stepped in and said, yeah, well, you can play at our stadium, blah, blah, blah. So it's between them and the Camping World Stadium.
Why did Florida State say no? That's awkward.
They said they didn't want to have a pro team playing on their football field.
That's all field tech shit there.
Yeah.
That's old Bob. Bob been our field constructor guy for the past 35 years.
Yeah, the Texas Gator Bowl's here. That's on the 30th. That's on the 30th of That's a Friday night. Friday's game.
Taxpayer.
They play Kentucky. Kentucky versus number 22 Clemson in the Gator Bowl.
Ah. Breaking news: Oklahoma quarterback is transferring to Oregon.
Who?
Dylan.
Oh.
Dylan Gabble is transferring to Oregon.
Wow.
Oklahoma quarterback.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
He used to be at UCF.
Moving around a lot now, young man. Make up your mind now.
Yeah, he used to be at UCF.
Man, I probably go to a school every year. I've been in college for 6 years.
Well,
I will make it be known.
According to the NCAA, if you move to 3 schools, you're supposed to sit out a year.
With the new transfer portal situation?
Yeah. Okay. If you do 3 years transfer, you have to sit out a
Okay, I'll stay at one school for 2 years. Okay, I can do that. I still go to 5 schools in 6 years.
So, but anyway, let's get back to this here. So right now, the matchup predictions is giving Army the favorite. Army's favorite by 2.5 points, and the over and under is 32.5.
Yeah, they got the line locked in at 3 right now, plus 3 for Navy.
Let me see if I can get Bailey here. It says
I like that over under though.
Yeah, he says I need advice from Jay. Should I take Navy +2 against Army?
I do the +3. I do the +3.
There you go, Billy. Go with Navy plus the 3.
I do the +3 with Navy, and the over under looks good.
Yeah,
I want to find a wild parlay today. Just a wild one. Trying to.
Well, there's a prop bet that I've seen in Vegas that guess how many yards will the Navy quarterback throw today?
Okay,
that's one prop bet.
Okay.
Next prop bet is how many times would Navy go for it on 4th and 3?
They have any national anthem prop bets? Timing?
No.
Damn it.
I ain't see that one.
Damn it. I'm trying to think of what would be a good parlay. Just a good.
It's only one game.
We should figure out next year.
It's only one game.
With a crazy parlay to let fans play.
Yeah, it's only one game though.
Yeah. But so 3 things, a crazy parlay in the game. I'm thinking in the game parlay.
Well, the one will be will any team run a reverse?
The triple option.
Triple option. Navy's got a triple option being ran today. Navy's got what you call a triple option reverse, where they put the running back and they bring the wide receiver in the middle and they pitch the ball to the wide receiver going back the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I can see a big guy scoring today. A big guy. Offensive, defensive lineman.
Well, this is a big thing for the Navy. Can the Navy stop the Army for going for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy today, bragging rights over the rival at Navy at home at the Patriots facility? If the Army wins this game, they win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. If Navy wins this game, nobody wins because Army and Air Force will be tied.
So we got another argument about a tie, Ray?
Navy lost to Air Force. Army beat the Air Force. So if Navy beats Army, then it'll be 1-1-1-1. They'll all be tied.
Got to go this way right here. In the words of John Madden, got to put it right here and boom. And this guy goes this way and boom. Okay.
So possibly we could have one team beat Army. Army beat Air Force beat Navy, Navy beats Army if this all happens.
So where did the cup go to?
Nobody. It just sits where it just sits where it's been.
Who has the cup now? Who
Air Force. Air Force.
Air Force has it.
Yep.
I don't like the sound of that. So we're playing for nothing.
basically Army's got the advantage. They're playing for the cup. If they win the cup outright. If Navy wants to stop the Army from winning it, then that's Navy's thing.
It's Navy's prerogative.
Yeah, that's motivation.
I saw more people. Well, this chin up challenge is going further than what I thought. For one, I don't know this young lady's name. I got to figure it out. I hope it makes social media. But I counted. Well, I think she did over 200 chin-ups. How many chin-ups can you do, Ray?
None.
I swear, man, your delivery and your expressions are on point. I swear. I looked at that like, I don't even remember attempting to do that many chin-ups after I passed my physical. I don't see the need for that.
We didn't have to do it in the Navy. We didn't have to do no chin-up in the Navy unless you're going to Navy SEALs.
No, you had to do the chin-up during the physical.
No, we didn't.
In boot camp?
No.
What the hell are we doing chin-ups for?
Unless you're going to Navy SEALs.
No, hell no.
We had to do no chin-ups. Army had to do chin-ups.
What am I talking about? Oh, I'm thinking about the gym next door by Arizona Hall. I used to go to that gym over there and used to attempt to do chin-ups.
Yeah, you used to attempt.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to do chin-ups. That's why I joined the Navy.
No, I'm not doing all that. That ended in gym class.
I had to do no chin-ups. That's why I picked the Navy over Army and the Marine Corps.
Yeah, you want me to do what? Oh no, I'm good.
I couldn't even do one in high school.
I think I could do 10 to 15 in high school. 10 to 15.
I wasn't upper body strong in high school. My legs were strong as fuck.
My mid game, ground game on point.
Well, my lower body was strong because I had to wrestle. So my legs had to be stronger than my upper body, really, because you had to have that balance. So,
did you watch the Army Navy game in the military?
Yep.
Used to watch it with the group with the fellas. You all get together.
Well, this is what happened. I can remember Navy games. Yeah, we got on the ship. We watched it on board the ship. We all got together on the mess decks, and they brought the big. CEO brought his big television, put it on board the ship for us, and we all watched it on the mess decks. The one year that I really remember that we all watched together was at Uniform Service University, where we had the Air Force, Army, and the Navy all together. We had medical doctors. They were trying to become medical doctors, so they all had to come to that university to become. It's a university, basically for military, for doctors. Mm-hmm. And we all got together and watched it in the big conference room. They had this big stadium conference room, and they took the big screen. It was about 250 feet screen, and put the game on there. And Army was the time that Navy won. It was their 7th win in a row.
Okay. And
the Army people were like, "Oh, we're gonna beat you this year. We're gonna beat you this year." And they were yelling and all that. And the game ended on that I think it was with the 4th down play that our Navy got the touchdown on or something.
Right.
It was something ridiculous. And he scored a touchdown, and the whole Army side went all up. And then when he scored, it went all down. And the Navy side went all up. It was just crazy. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I like watching it on the base in Pearl Harbor. That was a lot of fun because how close, well, not close, but Army base is not that far from there. And a lot of Army people worked on the base in Pearl Harbor. So that was a lot of fun watching the game that way.
Yeah, and I was up in D.C. when they actually played in Baltimore.
Oh, man, did you go to that game?
I couldn't because I was on duty. Damn it. I tried to bribe people. I was giving people like $200 to $300 just to send my watch so I can go do that. And I can come back, and then I'll come back and take over the watch. And they're like, "No, I ain't doing that." We got tickets.
He asked me yesterday. So did you get off for work on Christmas Day in the military? Did they give you off on holidays?
No.
What? I say that's like saying you want the military to just shut down because of holiday. That's basically what you saying. No, if you gotta work, you gotta work, bro. If you gotta work, you gotta work.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just
I would love to see it travel, though, man. I really like to see it travel. I bet some vets would really get a kick out of.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see it because I mean, Jacksonville will be a great spot for it because you got two naval bases right here, and you got an Air Force base down the street, and then you got a Marine Corps little group, and then you got a few Army people here too. So
I wonder how to get that going. Travel the Army Navy game.
You know, San Diego will be a good spot for Charlotte.
Hell of a spot, San Diego.
I mean, you got Charlotte. You can bring in people from
Charlotte, be real good.
You know, Charleston ain't that far.
Right.
You bring naval.
I mean, here we got Scott Air Force Base in Fort Leonard Wood, and in the middle is St. Louis. We got the nice little stadium. Be good.
Let me see. He's asking a question about the over and under here. No, they changed it now. This is the new line now. Billy, he's asking this. Now the new line is now Army 3. Over and under has now changed to 27.5. So anything. So if it goes over, if it goes 28,
27.5, I'm taking that. Taking that under.
You taking it under?
The under and that +3 looks good. There was some guy last week sharing a story on he hit on a wild ass game last week.
And then he says here the win loss as a team. So, well, both teams coming in 5-6 in this matchup here. This is the first time that they had an identical record coming into this matchup. So, I mean, to me, it looks like I don't know why the line is 3 for Army, because Army hasn't really impressed me none this year, and Navy is going through some coaching changes and everything else. So
that's why they have 3 points of that right there. There it is. That's the answer right there. You just gave it.
Capacity crowd is going to be 64,628 people, and it will be definitely 64,628 people at this game. This is a game that is always sold out, and it sells out NFL stadiums. Not a college stadium. This is an NFL stadium that have been playing there. They played at Lincoln Financial. They sold that out. They played at Baltimore. They sold that out. They played at the Meadowlands. They sold that out. Now they're playing up in New England. That game is sold out too. So this game is one of the President's games. Yes, you could say they bust in players. Yes, they do bust in the fans. They bust in the midshipmen. They bust in the cadets. It is one of the largest things. And if you ever go to this game, CBS does sometimes show it. The marching in, the pageantry of the Naval Academy and the West Point cadets marching in is one of the best sights of all of college football.
Turn the volume up. Tell the kids to be quiet and put the dog outside.
I don't care what you think about your college's entrance and stuff. I think this is one of the best entrance in college football today. It's the midshipmen marching in and the cadets all marching in and going from the 50-yard line to the end zone for the midshipmen, and the other side going to the cadets. And then at the end of the game, you go over, you've seen the losing ones first, and then you've seen the winners last. The singing of last is always the best part if you can win the football game.
You're trying to make me tear up, Ray. Stop it.
So I don't care what anybody says. I think this game has the best peasantry, the best atmosphere of college football today.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Well said. Well said. Well said. Well
and yes, it's coming from a Navy guy, it's coming from a military guy, but we believe in that stuff because me and Dre, we actually live the life of a military man.
I was a military man.
We served on board ships. I served on board ships. I served with the Army too over in Afghanistan and Iraq. I got IA over into the Army. So I have served with Air Force too. I have served with 3 different branches, and the Marine Corps. I had one Marine Corps detachment I served with also. So I have been with all 4 services in the military, and I still think the Navy is the best out of all of them.
There it is.
It's just because we get to go see more stuff than what other militaries don't see, because we have a mobile force where we can go to different countries. We pull in. It's basically what I call a working cruise, not a pleasure cruise like you see on Carnival and all that. We have an actual working cruise, and we pull into ports. We get to go see the sights and sounds.
Right.
So, no, we don't have no alcohols on the ship. Blah blah blah. That's why we call it a working cruise.
There it is. There it is. You drink when your work is done, son. Job is done.
When you pull in the ports, you get off the ship and you stay off the ship for a while. You only have duty section when you pull in. The best place I visited when I was in the Navy was Singapore. Singapore was the cleanest country, the cleanest city I have ever been. You could eat off the ground because they had street sweepers that come every 15 minutes to sweep the street.
Now, see, that's customer satisfaction at its finest right there.
Also, chewing gum was illegal in Singapore.
But shit, when we joined, they banned smoking. They banned smoking in the military. They would transition to a new military when we joined.
Now they got them where they can smoke on the fantail or the windbreak or they can vape, whatever you want to call it. Whatever that thing is now. They got the new electronic cigarettes. It
went by so fast, man. Military time. It went by so fast. That's why I tell people to enjoy it. Just like in the sports aspect. I don't want to rush nobody's collegiate career. Like we were talking about.
I disagree and agree with it. The first 10 years was the slowest. The last 10 years moved fast.
Okay. When you didn't know what you wanted to do.
Get that 10-year mark, and you, like for Navy, for when I was in it, you had to make E5 to even retire in the Navy, like when I was there. Mm-hmm. And then when my 15-year mark, they came out with a message saying if you have 15 years, you can't retire no more. So basically, I got grandfathered in because I was already at my 15-year mark when that message came out. So I got to retire as an E5.
Okay.
But the first 10 years, making up to the 10-year mark and making that E5 mark by the 10-year mark, because if you were an E4 at the 10-year mark, you had to, they higher tenure you out.
Right.
So, I pushed it all the way up. I made E5 at my 8th year mark because my rating was a YN and it was all saturated.
That thing was tight when you went in, wasn't it? Tight.
Dude, E5 was 25%. You had to be in that 25 percentile of getting E5. When you made E6, it went from 25 down to 6%. They were advancing 1% chief, 1% senior chief, and 1% master chief.
What was that terminology called? I can't think of it when you're deciding on a job to do and you're looking at the advancement rate. How long it took you to advance in that job. What was that board called, that book we looked at? What was that thing called? I can't remember it.
Oh, you talking about BMR, basic military requirements?
Yeah. And it showed you how long it would take for you to make board in this rank or to move up your advancement potential for the rate.
Yeah, when you join, give you a quick history. When you join and you go up for your rate, you had to take the BMR, the basic military requirements. That had to be done. That was a 600-page freaking book.
Yeah.
1,800 questions.
I bet that's on a fucking tablet now.
And then for your rating, you had all your rating knowledge you had to take. And you had to do all that to get it. You had to do all the questions. Then you had to go get your PARs done.
Yeah.
You had to get your PARs done from your chief to get signed off, so you can be eligible to take the advancement cycle when you got your 3-year mark.
Right.
So first you get all the way up. So your E5, E1 to E3 was easy because you had nothing to do, no tests, no nothing. You just automatically make that. But then when you got E3, you had to start doing your basic military requirements. You had to do your rating knowledge, and then you had to get your PARs done. by the time you're within a year to take the exam, you had to have all that done before you even get to take the test.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what is the cycle now in today's military for them to advance?
Today's cycle is nothing like we used to do. There's no more military basic requirements, no PARs to do anymore. You just have to wait your time and you have to be eligible to take the exam. So and it's wide open now because since the new Navy system that got in, it does not allow Master Chief to stay the full 30 years anymore.
I did see a young looking Master Chief. I did see one. I see some young military people with a lot.
Well, remember
them yesterday.
You remember the time when we were there, when you made senior chief, you had your high-year tender didn't run out after senior chief. You can stay in there. You can stay in there to 28 years. That's a high-year tender for them. Master chief, you can stay all the way to 30. Master chief, you can still stay to 30, but senior chief now, chief and senior chief, you can only, if you don't make Master Chief by the 24th year mark, your 24-year mark, you don't make Master Chief, you don't stay to the 30, you get kicked out now. It's no more senior chief to 28. It's
can't go no higher, Joe.
E7 to E8 is at 24-year mark. If you don't make E9 by the 24-year mark, you don't get to stay in, you don't get to go to your 30-year mark. So basically, that's how it works. And then when you get out, like an E5 for me, I had to do 10 years of non-Navy reserves. And then my 10-year mark, which is passed already, I get a letter from the Navy saying you're fully now retired.
Uh-oh.
So they made
So what did you do that day you got that letter? What did you do?
I danced because they can't recall me. They don't understand. They think, oh, you retired at the 20-year mark. Yeah, but you go to non-active fleet reserves where they have the right to call you back, and you have to be on that list for 10 years. You'll be on the Navy Reserve for 10 years because you got to finish out your 30-year mark to get your official name on the official retirement list.
Right.
So,
man, they should wear them throwback uniforms the days when Lee Corso was coaching. Those look good.
Yeah, Navy's got the best helmet though.
They were doing a segment on the helmet, the significance of the helmet today. Yeah, what everything means.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. The helmet games these people doing nowadays, man, they bringing it. These helmet games, they're strong.
Thanks for today's shows, guys. Got to go. Work calls. Have a blessed day. You too, man. Thanks for joining us and everything here. We're coming up on the 3-hour mark here. Let's take a guess. I know I'm going with Navy. I know he's going to go with Navy. We're both Navy guys. So, I got the lifer tattoo right here.
Get me a tattoo, man. Getting a tattoo when I get double nickel.
So I got that's what you call a lifer tattoo right there.
Okay. All right. Let me get a tramp stamp.
Get you. That ain't a tramp stamp. The tramp stamp is in your back, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting mine at.
You're getting, oh no.
Yeah.
What are you getting on the back of a ship?
No. Probably my kids' names in the acronym. I'm still trying to figure it out.
You're gonna have a tattoo tramp stamp on the back.
Yeah, right there. All action back there.
Coming in hot. What is the craziest story that you got when you were in the Navy, real quick? That you've seen in the Navy?
The craziest story that I was a part of, or somebody told me?
Somebody told you, or what somebody did.
Okay, we bought 2 new transportation vehicles for my job, brand new, that we had to pick up from the Honolulu shipyard. I was already done with work that day, but my boss said, "Hey, you want to take a ride with me?" I said, "No, I'm gonna go back and clean my boat and go home," because it was a game coming on that night or something. That I get done with my work. About 4 hours later, I get a call from my boss, my lieutenant, get my ass back to work. These sumbitches done hit a reef and tried to keep going tore the whole motherfucking rudder out the brand new boat that the Navy just bought. I got yelled at because I didn't go. I was off work. It was not my responsibility to go. Oh man. Oh, holy shit. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing, man.
My craziest story is I stand and watch. The XO drives on board, drives down the middle of the pier, gets out of the car butt ass naked, walks up to the quarterdeck, tried to get on the boat butt ass naked. He was drunk.
The drunk stories in the military. I mean, you didn't per se go to jail like go to court. Dude, the shore patrol will pick you up and go in there and sleep it off.
No,
sleep it off.
He was out running the shore patrol. He was out running the base police.
Oh my God!
He runs the gate, the sentry gate that's at the pier. He ran that. He busted through the gate through that.
He busted through the gate.
Yeah, I get a phone call saying, "Hey, we got a active. I don't know who he is, but he gets out of the car. The XO. He was butt naked, had his freaking hat on. His with the XO with the scrambled eggs on. Had his hat on. Comes up aboard and says, "I'm here reporting. Make fresh permission to come aboard." I looked at him and said, "No, sir, you can't come aboard." He's like, "I have to. They're after me." I'm like, "They're gonna come and get you because you ain't coming on board." I had to call the CO. He was at home. I called the CO and said, "Hey, your XO is being arrested for nudity, outrunning the shore police, busting through the sentry, coming to."
Oh my God!
Ship. And he looked at me and says, "Was he butt naked?" That was the first question I had to see. Like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Oh, this ain't the only time I had to go bail him out." The CO started pounding. He's like, "Well, at least he wasn't in the club taking all his clothes off, getting on a stripper pole."
Oh my God. I miss when the military would go in a club and just take over. Just go in the club and just take the some bitches over. Other men would leave, women would stay. It was incredible how people just wanted to be around military people. And you wear a uniform into a bar, a club, or a restaurant. Oh, it's like a damn superstar that came in. Everybody turned around.
Now, the worst experience I ever had was going in Singapore, going to a club. First day we had to wear our uniforms in because the first day of ports we always had to wear a uniform. Then the next few days we could change in civilian clothes, but the first night we had to be in our uniforms, dress whites. We went into Singapore, went into the club, and never forget the village people was standing there singing on stage. We walked in, they started singing the Navy song.
Oh my God. Time to go, boss.
I looked at
the songs out here, Ray. I'm leaving. I'm out.
They started singing the Navy.
Time to go.
So, but that was my quick 2 stories there on that band. But the Navy was also an awesome time. The military was great. This game is all about pageantry. This game is all about the military life and stuff like that. So when you have your friends, you have your Army friends saying go Army, you have your Navy friends going Navy, and even don't need to go to the university, they don't even like the school, but it's the rivalry of the military. It's the military pageantry. It's just
my uncle served in the Navy. Damn it, Todd, cheer.
It's totally different. Yes, we all have our own teams that we pull for, but we come together for this one game. And even though you know how big this game is on board a ship that's in the middle of the ocean, watching this game live. And how they do that? The CEO finds a course where the TV will come in, and that ship will either dead stick or continue just go in circles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if the signal loses and somebody calls the quarterdeck, calls the CEO and tells them the signal is lost, he will find that signal again. This game will be watched live in the middle of the ocean. So that's how you do it. Yes, we get to see games live in the middle of the ocean.
All right, buddy. Are we doing a show next Saturday, or are we waiting until the big game?
Well, caught me off guard on that one. Let me tell you real quick. Let me look at the schedule for next week. I'll tell you. Do you want to do? Well, I won't be back. I'll be going out of town on the 19th,
Okay.
and I won't be back into town until the 31st.
Okay.
So we're picking back up on the. If you want to do shows starting up for the playoffs, we can do that.
Yeah. That first Saturday, what is that?
That's on. Let me see here.
The 3rd?
Let me bring up the schedule. Let me bring up the schedule here. Schedule. Let me see here. See, bowl game starts on the 20th.
So
Navy games today. The bowl game starts on the 11th or the 9th of January. Next Saturday we could do one if you want to. They have the Georgia Southern, Jacksonville State, Miami, New Mexico State, UCLA, and California. That all ball games start on Saturday. And then they got one on Monday, 18th. And then 19th, I'll be out of town. And I don't come back until the 31st.
Okay. And then the first playoff game, January 1st.
We can start back on, if you want to do January 1st, we can start with the Wisconsin and all them. Because that's the first bowl. That's the actual first, because you got Wisconsin, LSU, you got Liberty and Oregon. And then you got Iowa and Tennessee. Then you got Alabama and Michigan and Texas and Washington on January 1st.
Okay. Yeah, we can do a show January 1st.
And then then Monday, January 8th is the national championship game.
And that'll be the last show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're going to watch that game
We'll
live.
pick it back up on January 1st. Unless you want to do one next Saturday. I mean, it's up to you.
No, I got something to do next Saturday.
All right. So, guys, this will be it. This is the end of the regular season right here. We will start back up on January 1st for the playoffs. Talk about Alabama and Michigan and all that stuff coming up. So those games we'll be talking about in that format will be Wisconsin at LSU, Liberty at Oregon. For the Azealia Quest Bowl and the Vibro Festival Bowl, the Cheez-It Circus Bowl, which would be number 17 Iowa versus number 21 Tennessee. Then we got that's the Alabama one. And the semifinals is Alabama in the Rose Bowl versus Michigan. And then the All-State Sugar Bowl has Texas and Washington. So we'll talk about that again, break all those games down here on the playoff edition of the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz. This is Dre. Go Navy, beat Army. Always the thing to end this regular season here on the show. Stay with us for all other great shows on this outstanding network. You can view it, praise it, subscribe to the channels, hit that like button, put that bell notification on so you won't miss any episode on the All Sports, All Plays Network. Not just the College Breakdown, but the All Sports, All Plays Network. We like to have all your viewers and stuff like that. So from this great day, hope Navy wins. From all of you veterans, good luck out there if you're in the Army, Navy, Air Force, you're okay. You know, you did beat us early, but your game's not as big as this one. This is the pedigree of all. The number 1, number 2 ranked services, the oldest service and the next oldest service. So there you go. Dre's been good, man. Keep up the good work.
All right.
Eat the show today. That is always good. We always shake hands at the end.
All right.
All right,
You
man.
as well,
See you
man.
later.
Till next time. Happy holidays.
Peace. You too.
All right.
Y'all have a good Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's.
There you go, my man. You too.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. Gridiron the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.